Yep.
Hello, everyone. We are back. And this time we are discussing the 90s now. So we started from 1980. We made our way all the way up. Great decade. Now we're on into the 90s, which, I have appreciation for the 90s. It's another nostalgic period with great films and other great stuff that came out. Gaming was, getting on up there. But this year, 1990, the year to start off the 90s. And I recently saw Total Recall, another
recently as in like the past 24 hours.
Yeah, the past 24 hours. I watched some of it. I watched some of it yesterday, and then I saw the rest today. That mine kind of the movie messes with you a little bit about stuff, but I don't want to say much if people have already haven't seen it yet.
Well,
I don't know if Joe and Simon have seen it.
30. I'm sure they have. It's 30 plus years ago,
and it's been remade.
What's that again?
And it's been remade.
Oh. Is it really?
Yeah, there was one 2013, 14.
Oh, you talking about you talking about the one with Colin Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that one? I haven't.
Yeah, it's shit.
I heard it was bad. But I think I'll watch it just for the heck of it. It's got Kate Beckinsale, right? And I don't remember who.
Is it Kate Beckinsale?
I think she played the evil wife. I thought.
Oh, you mean are you talking about the remake?
The remake. Yeah, which we also have on Vudu.
I don't get remakes these days. They're kind of bland to me by this point. It's like you're just taking something that's already great and you're trying to redo it again. But I don't know. It actually works better with video games than movies.
They redo the great ones because of the brand recognition, but what they really need to do is take the ones that have potential and fulfill that potential.
Exactly. That's a good idea, because every time they try to, as you say, remake the ones that, were good and had that great brand recognition, it just doesn't seem to work. I can't think of a remake off the top of my head that has been as good as or better than the original.
The Jungle Book, maybe?
The Fly.
They did it in the 80s. The Fly. Yeah, that's right. I forgot there was that older. Oh, and also The Thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Thing. Oh, yeah, they are remaking that.
Yep. No, I mean, that was a remake from a movie back in the black and white days.
Oh, yeah, but kind of different time.
Because
John Carpenter took it and did something a little different with it, which was more unique.
He did. That's true. He did.
So Ghost was number one in the box office.
Yeah, that's the top. You have not seen that movie.
No, I have not seen that. I have not. We actually had it when we opened up our theaters. We actually had it for a 30th anniversary.
Like a comeback classic?
Yeah, but no, I don't think nobody really went to go see that.
Really?
Yeah. There were other classic movies that other people were going to see than Ghost.
Okay.
Ghost was the highest box office within the year, but the biggest box office for a movie released that year was Home Alone.
Oh yeah, that came second in box office or high grossing films. But
it was at the end of the year though when it came out. So.
Oh, what was Ghost?
No,
Home Alone was released in November.
Yeah, it probably made more in 91. So.
I see it made a ton of money in a short amount of time.
That first link I put in the chat, if you go to that, you'll see everything.
Okay, let me go.
Goodfellas is the best movie.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at too. I have that pulled up on my other monitor here, and I was looking at it. Made 476 million. So if it was released in November, in just a month or so, it made
that's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be honest, I only saw bits and pieces of that movie. I've never sat down and fully watched it all the way from beginning to end.
Home
What
Alone.
did-
Yeah.
Home Alone.
Mm.
What did you guys think of it?
I love it. I actually, I made a top 3 for the year, and luckily, people have already been mentioning those movies. So
Okay.
I actually had in my top 3, some order. I had Goodfellas, Home Alone, and Ghost as my
Wow. So
3 favorites.
okay. Yeah, someone had mentioned Goodfellas, and I didn't remember if that had been in 1990 or just another year. So it was 1990. Okay, yeah, because there's a long list of films that came out, a whole bunch of stuff. Like,
And
there
these
was
films are turning 31 years.
yeah,
That's a long time.
crazy.
Home Alone.
Oh, Mom, your favorite movie's turning 30 this year.
I know.
Ooh.
It's so old. Oh, is he going to go get a copy? Okay.
Well, I see Simon has the Home Alone Kevin McAllister up, so that's good.
Yeah, I choose the most iconic film for an Avatar every year.
Oh, that's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't put together that that's what you were doing in the other stream. Yeah, there we go.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, I know we're not there.
You're getting ahead of yourself, Arturo. He's showing off his background, his new entertainment room.
Most of this stuff is Mom's. My mom's.
Yeah, most of it's mine. So all right. So, what did you guys think about Ghost? Like a romantic suspense.
I really like it. I know it's kind of cheesy, but
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed to say I like the movie. It had a couple things going on. It kind of had 2 stories, with Patrick Swayze, the financial stuff on his side, and
Right.
then like the love story. So it had enough going on, that I enjoyed the film. I thought it was kind of unique how they did it.
It
And
was
some of the
yeah.
effects were pretty good too. I mean, for the time.
It was like a mixture of supernatural, mystery, and romance.
And pottery.
And pottery, yes, of course. How could we forget? And it seemed like that just kind of was a really good combination. And I remember how big of a hit it was at the time.
Yeah,
And,
it made Demi Moore a star like overnight.
yeah, I mean, she'd already been kind of known, but that did seem to catapult her a little bit more into the limelight, for sure.
We actually have that movie, but I've never taken the time to watch it.
Oh, when did Forrest Gump come in? Yeah, I think actually my favorite part of Ghost was Whoopi Goldberg.
Wait, was she the one reacted to the? Is she the one that reacted?
She was the one who could see. Yeah, she's the one who could see him.
Yeah, she was what?
Yeah.
About?
She was a fake.
What's
it called?
Medium?
Spiritualist or medium? Yeah.
Yeah,
Medium.
a phony. And then all of a sudden, Patrick Swayze visited her, and she could hear him.
Yep.
And it freaked her out because she was a phony and she had never heard a voice. So suddenly she actually was a realistic, she could hear ghosts basically. So he kind of used her to help him throughout the movie, and she was the comic relief.
Yeah, she absolutely was. I really enjoyed her.
I like ghosts.
Don't tell
my guy friends.
Well, I hope none of your guy friends are watching right now, Glenn, or they will find out.
Ooh.
So we had a comment here about Forrest Gump. I don't think Forrest Gump came out in 1990.
I thought it was 94 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Oh yeah, Simon.
That's like 4 years. Yeah.
They might have thought we were talking about the 90s.
90s in general.
Yeah.
That's how we started off the 80s discussion, but it felt like it was a little redundant to have a discussion of the whole decade and then
I've kind of changed how we kind of like I had it like a podcast where we did everything, then we broke it into years. Now I'm just doing it genre and breaking it into years. We're like only focusing on the movie section of 99 or 1990.
So
there's go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to bring it back to Home Alone real quick, but there's a funny story I read recently about it where the original director was Chris Columbus, and he was going to direct Christmas Vacation the year before, which was another John Hughes production.
Okay.
And he thought Chevy Chase was such a jerk when they were trying to, pre-production, I guess, that he called John Hughes and said, "I don't want to do this movie anymore. Do you have anything else for me?" And he said, "Well, I've got something in the works that'll start next year, another Christmas movie called Home Alone. Would you want to do that?" And so Chris Columbus said, "Yeah." And that's how we ended up with Home Alone. I mean, it could have been a totally different film, but it was all because Chevy Chase was a jerk.
Was a butt.
Wow, he basically made the movie.
I didn't. You know what? I didn't realize Chris Columbus directed Home Alone.
Yeah, but I love both films, so somehow it worked out where we got two Christmas classics. So
yeah, exactly.
Misery. Yep, that's another movie from '90, which I also saw. That's a pretty good one.
Not long ago. That was a very good film.
So what are everyone's top three?
I said Goodfellas, Home Alone, and Ghost.
I didn't think of a top three. Honestly, my top one would probably be Kindergarten Cop. But
because Arnold.
Plus, I love Kindergarten Cop, and I recently rewatched it in preparation for we were going to have a live stream discussion about Arnold, Derek and I. But I can't think of any others that are honestly my top. As far as like others that I really Tremors.
What about Total Recall?
You know what? Surprisingly, that's not one of my favorite Arnold movies.
It did make number 5 on.
It did. It did well.
Yeah, I liked it, but I don't think it's my favorite Arnold movie.
And I couldn't tell you why. Honestly, I like The Sixth Day more than I like Total Recall. I don't know why. I recently listened to Arnold's autobiography, and he was talking about Total Recall and how it almost became a big flop because the way the studio was wanting to market it or not quite knowing how to market it, and it just almost went off the rails. But they were able to turn it around, and it ended up doing really, really well that year. So
that's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of marketing, I remember that too.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Tracy was all over the place. I don't even know if I saw that, you guys. I don't remember.
It Dances with Wolves.
I saw it in a double feature, Dick Tracy, with Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
Oh, did you?
Despise Dick Tracy, love The New Batch.
Gremlins 2 is probably better than Dick Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
The Gremlins 2, I saw, I guess you could say I saw most of it, but when I was younger, I would skim around that movie too, just like others. So I do remember in detail how it all went.
Another film that came out this year in 1990 that I'd forgotten about that I actually really enjoyed but have only seen once, and I don't know why I've never returned to it, but it was The Hunt for Red October.
Oh yeah,
that was actually a very
Sean
good.
Connery. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a series. It's a Tom Clancy series. So they went on and made other movies with Harrison Ford playing the character of Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, that series. I've heard about that, but I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah. So they're just, to me, I don't really feel like 1990 was a huge year as far as.
Well, we just got out of '89, which had a lot of big
I think
hits.
we're a little spoiled by the '80s, y'all.
Oh, but come on, '90s has its moments. Don't worry.
I think the '80s is easier to love. They've got
it is,
80s movies have more of an identity, but I think the 90s are more diverse and have loads of quality films if you look for them.
I have some nostalgia for the 90s. I mean, yeah, the 80s too, but some about the 90s I really like. Maybe because more things were getting better, I guess, technology-wise.
The filmmaking?
The
filmmaking,
gaming.
Yeah.
Anime was coming around.
Kind of come back down to anime.
So, like, those are the three things that I really like of the 90s. '80s was the start of something big, and then it just got bigger in the '90s. But
some of the films that I remember from 1990, I don't remember them having too much of a leftover feel of the 80s, even though they would have been filmed.
yeah, like
In
Total
the 80s,
Recall.
probably.
Total Recall. I was looking, like, I was trying to think. I know this came out in '90, but this would have been filmed like in '89, and for some reason I don't get that. Maybe a little bit of '80s feel, but also '90s feel.
Well, it took place in the future, so it's going to
Yeah,
have a
but
different.
the quality, the quality would have been
The quality
like
of the filmmaking.
Mhm.
Ernest Goes to Jail. Oh yeah, I saw that when I was. Oh, Opportunity Knocks was a fun movie. If you guys ever saw that.
Is that with Dana Carvey?
Yeah, he's
I
like
didn't see it.
Oh, you haven't seen that? It's not bad. Oh, okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, y'all. I
Okay,
remember that film.
it's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
You actually watched that one?
A long time ago when we were up at Salem one time
Oh, okay.
with
Yeah,
Corey and his
that was a
kid
pretty
and his
good one.
brothers. And
I mean,
It
I
made
was 11. I was 11, but I liked it a lot when it came out.
it made the top 10, and I remember that I enjoyed it, and I loved the rap song that went with it.
Teenage.
I used to
Vanilla
listen.
Ice. Yeah,
Say what?
Vanilla Ice was in the first or the second one. But
Was he? You mean as an
yeah,
actor?
maybe he was in the second one.
I think
That
that's the
song.
case. Yeah.
Okay. I don't. I get. Maybe I did. If I saw the second one, I don't remember him at
I
all.
I
You
feel like I
talking
need
about
to
doing the song or playing in the movie?
The song Ninja
Oh, okay.
Rap, I think. Yeah.
I feel like I
Okay.
need to rewatch that again. Was the cartoons going on in the '90s? At least, yeah. Because I remember
think so.
I had a tape for at least 2 episodes. One had to do with the pizza monsters. That when you heat them up in the microwave, these pizza monsters like grow, almost like gremlins, sort of. Except with pizza.
Fun fact: in the UK, they were called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles
Ah,
because
nice.
the powers that be thought that Ninja was too violent.
Really?
Huh.
hmm
Oh, that's interesting.
I feel like I need to get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Time video game, the SNES one. I think that came out like around the early '90s. But
So
yeah,
how?
the first movie, Mom, would you say it's a little more mature? I thought it was a little darker. It had some language in it, I remember.
I
Like,
don't remember much about it. I just remember that I liked it and I liked the rap song.
When I was younger, when I saw it, I was so shocked to hear what's his name? He's got the red thing around his face.
Raphael.
Raphael, yeah, he said damn, and I was like,
Oh, that's so
wait,
mild.
what? He said that, and I'm like, I was like, I never heard the
That surprised
New Ninja
you?
Turtles curse.
That's funny.
That's one thing I
I think
remember.
Corey Feldman was like Michelangelo's voice or something.
Oh,
Oh.
interesting. I didn't know that.
I
That's
think
funny.
so.
I have the same NES game on my desk. Nice.
I'm looking to see the names of who played in here.
Yeah, that movie made a lot of money. It was a big,
did.
like a promoted,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of toys out and all that stuff at the time.
It was number 9. It beat out Kindergarten Cop by just
Oh.
a skosh, like maybe $7,000.
Mom, I guess it's better than Kindergarten Cop.
Well, I disagree with that.
Nope, it says it right there.
That just
Says
means
it
more
right
people went to see it. That doesn't mean it was better.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Just playing with you.
yeah, someone here says, I know you were. Someone here says that, yeah, he did. Okay. I forgot who did the voices of the, gosh, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
We need to rewatch it then.
Yeah.
I always remembered it was it had a more darker feel to it. And there was a point at the end, there was a little bit of a gore scene, sort of death scene. But I don't want to say too much.
I don't
People haven't
remember
seen it.
much
There
about
was
that at all.
Just this machine does something to a specific character. If
Okay.
people that have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I don't think it was like
forgot.
awful. You just know what happens.
Someone brought up Stephen King's It miniseries.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow evaded me when I was a kid, and I just got into all that stuff like a few years ago when the remake started
When the
coming.
remake.
Oh, yeah.
So-
That's the only things I've seen was the remakes. I never saw the 90s one.
What do you think about the? What do you think? So who do you think is the better Pennywise?
Probably the new guy, but I mean it's pretty close. Tim Curry's a real good actor.
He is, and he was
did the original.
he was creepy. His character didn't look creepy. So like Pennywise in the remake looked creepy. He looked creepy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had better, to work with. Better,
Right.
I guess.
But
Yeah,
Tim Curry was able to take a I mean, some people think clowns are creepy, period. But Tim Curry was able to take someone that didn't necessarily look scary and make him scary because he was creepy. I enjoyed the show. I just felt like the ending, it was a mini series. I felt like the ending kind of fell a little flat. But overall, I enjoy the atmosphere of it. I felt like it was sufficiently creepy, and the kids all did a really good job in the acting.
You mean in the new one or the 90 one?
The original. The original.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The first half was great. The second half is absolutely terrible. With a
Yes.
big paper mache spider.
Yeah. See, and I didn't listen. I almost said I didn't read the book. I didn't listen to the book, so I don't know how these compare. I don't know how either of the movies compare to the original source material. Have either of you guys read that book?
The only thing I know about the source material is that there's a gangbang in it.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
They can't at the end. They can't find their way out of the sewers, and for some reason, they have to gangbang the girl, and they find their way somehow. I don't know.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
That's in the book?
That's in the book.
The
What?
child, they have to do that. Were these the young kids?
The young kids, the girl. There's one girl in the group,
Yeah, right.
and they have to gangbang her to find themselves or something like that.
Oh my gosh! That must
Stephen
have been
King was
what
doing
I
a lot of cocaine.
He clearly he was. He was messed up. I remember some of the books that I would listen to. I mean, I enjoyed them, but I was like, "That's really twisted." Like, where did you come up with this? But
Stephen King, he adds some really messed up stuff sometimes, from what I've heard.
He does. Yeah, he does. But I do remember now hearing or seeing things on YouTube talking about scenes that they didn't put in the remake, and that were also it wasn't even in the original either. And there was reference to what you're talking about. I just didn't remember it put in those terms, but yeah, I recall now what you're speaking
Well,
of.
hey, that's fine
That's
by
terrible.
me. It's not like we need to see that.
I mean, that's gross.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay,
Was he like going through something at the time he wrote that, or what?
well, they just mentioned he was doing a lot of cocaine. Stephen King.
Well, now we know why.
Now that explains it all. Yes, you're absolutely right. Kindergarten Cop has a lot of memorable quotes.
Yeah, we're gonna play a wonderful game. Who is my daddy? What does he do? Put the
I
cookie
love that.
down.
I love that movie.
There is
I
no
don't know.
bathroom.
It was just so funny.
Did you guys ever hear that? Like someone take his quotes from that and put them on Darth Vader? It's pretty good. Some of it's from Kindergarten Cop. I mean, from other movies too, but some of the stuff I remember, like no more complaining, no more go to the bathroom, nothing. There is no bathroom. Yeah, that's a good movie. I like it. More puns from Arnold.
Oh yes, of
sure.
course. And you saw more puns today in Total Recall.
Consider that a divorce.
Yes. And then he said, "Screw you" to the guy.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what he's known for.
It's like Commando was the first start of some of his puns, I would think, and then it just kept going and going and going.
Honestly, I don't remember which one was the start. Maybe that was one of the early ones. I can't recall. So number 3 on this list was Pretty Woman.
Yeah, now that's a Disney movie.
It's like a chick flick type of thing.
Disney.
Yeah,
It's a Disney movie?
Yeah, it's a Disney movie.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Let me see.
I know. Yeah, it is.
Was Disney doing a lot of cocaine too?
Yeah. But you know what?
Is this rated R?
No, I didn't think it was.
Yes, it is rated
Is
R.
it really? Really?
Wow, Disney, just make Blade rated R. You did it before.
It's about a prostitute, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought it was PG-13.
Yeah, I don't think it has nudity or, you know.
No, it doesn't.
It's
not
not
really.
It's on here on.
It's not explicit, but there are things that are happening or getting ready to go down that you know what's getting ready to happen, or you know what's going on.
But no, like seriously, if you pull it up, it shows the rating R.
Okay, I just forgot.
Wow.
I mean, it could have just got that tag just for having prostitution as the main theme, probably.
That's true.
I mean, that was back then. That might have got an R.
Yeah.
I don't remember like nudity or a lot of cussing or anything.
There wasn't. So
yeah.
It's very anti-feminist when you think about it. The theme is "Get yourself a man, whore."
Right. Yeah, it is. Like she's no good without the guy. I wasn't super crazy about that movie. I'd rather see Total Recall than Pretty Woman.
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, that was number 4.
What is that about?
Have you seen Avatar?
That's what I was going to say. That's why I call Avatar Dances with Smurfs, because the blue people, and it's basically the same story as Dances with Wolves.
Okay.
Wasn't that Kevin Costner's first time directing?
It might have been, but I do remember that that movie got a lot of awards and it made a lot of waves, and it surprised me to find out that he had directed it.
Have you seen it, Mom?
Yes, I have.
Isn't it kind of sad?
It's freaking depressing.
Yeah,
to me.
I thought that. Yeah.
So I have only seen it like once or twice because it just makes me terribly sad.
Won Best Film.
What's that?
It won Best Film at the Academy Awards.
Yeah, it did very well. I can't remember if the girl that played in there also got an award, and I don't remember if he got Best Actor, but I do remember that it won a major award, either Best Director or, like you said, Best Film.
I mean, I was a kid, so I remember seeing it, and I know my parents really liked it, but I really loved about that movie was the cinematography, and I think it's one of the most beautifully shot films that I've ever seen. If you just look at, the scenery and the imagery and everything.
Yeah.
I was really into that stuff when I was a kid for some reason, and I think Dances with Wolves is one of the best, has some of the best cinematography of all time. I don't know if it won, that award, but it's a beautiful film just to look at.
Beautifully shot, yeah.
Yeah.
I loved it too. One thing I remember is that it was thanks to Dances with Wolves that some of the languages actually survived because they poured money into it.
Oh, yeah,
and they wanted the authenticity.
Speak it.
They were able to put up programs to continue the Native American languages.
I have a vague memory of that now that you say that, because
of the time period it's set in, because it's set during the Civil War.
Yeah, but he's talking about the languages of the.
The girl in the film was a white girl that had been taken in by natives. So she was kind of the liaison between Kevin Costner and the natives, I think.
Yeah, she was. I think her husband had died, and that's how she ended up with them. And she had spoken their language so long that her English was really rusty.
Yeah.
It did win cinematography. It says that here. It won 7. It was nominated for 12, and it won 7: Best Picture, Best Director, as well as cinematography, editing, score, screenplay, and sound mixing.
Yeah, so I remember everyone was blown away by that. It was Kevin Costner that put it together.
Yeah. I remember that too. That certainly made an impact on me. I remember watching the Oscars back when I used to watch them and used to be interested in them. And I remember that movie kept winning. And I don't recall. I don't remember if I had seen it yet. I think I had. By
Oh,
then.
did you see it in movie theaters?
No, I didn't. I saw it on VHS. But I think by the time the Oscars came around, I had already seen it. So yeah.
So you were caught up.
I was caught up. I remember a classmate of mine. She had gone to see that movie the night before, and she came to see, because I was in college at the time, and she came and she was just all over that. I mean, she just loved it. She just kept talking about how it's like one of those films I guess you see and it just has a really strong impact on you. It's one of those very emotionally moving.
Before the internet, you hear it from your friends.
Yeah, I did.
This. So
word of mouth and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So. But
then there was something. Oh, Back to the Future 3. I saw that one.
Yeah.
I think the thing I like about it is that they go back in time to the Wild West.
Wild West.
That's probably. I mean, it's decent. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I mean, I liked it. Cowboys.
Best part of that movie is the kid standing on the train at the end, and he gestures, sort of come here with his hand, and then points to his dick.
Oh,
it's been a while.
I've only seen that movie once. Yeah, I completely forgot about that part. Oh yes. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Reference to Fistful of Dollars though in that movie. Because it was referenced.
I didn't remember that, but Arachnophobia will probably be one of my top 3 of 1990.
Wait, what?
Arachnophobia. That's why I pulled his comment up, because he mentioned Arachnophobia. That was a really fun film. If you don't like spiders, it might give you nightmares.
Yeah.
But
Jeff was a doctor in a small town, and it became overrun with spiders.
Yep. And it was like a spider that came from somewhere in South America, or some jungle or something in South America. Yeah, that was a really fun film. I forgot Flatliners. Yeah, and Tremors, another really, really good film.
Wait, that came out in 90?
Yes.
Tremors?
Mm-hmm.
That has
Kevin Bacon and Fred.
Yeah, Bacon. I want to call him Bacon.
Yeah.
It's got him in it. It has to do with these big gigantic worm creatures underneath.
It's a fun movie. I think it has Reeve and McIntyre in it as well.
I remember seeing clips of it whenever you had it on television one time.
Yeah.
Speaking of remakes, I just read recently Kevin Bacon was talking about he really, really wanted to remake Tremors. And studios have been close for years to remaking it. But he said it keeps falling through. But for some reason, he really wants to remake it.
I wonder why, because the first one was so good.
I don't know.
Just make a sequel or
maybe
something.
Does he want to remake it with him in it?
I think so, yeah. Or either a sequel or a remake. But yeah, I was reading somewhere on the internet just a week or two ago.
A sequel would make more sense, but they've made other Tremors movies since then, and I don't remember if the others had any of the same people in it. Do you know? Do you remember?
I don't even know if I've seen Tremors, to be honest.
Oh, you haven't. You should watch it.
I haven't either.
Fun. Oh my goodness. It's fun.
It's like a cult classic, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Just overall, very fun film.
I haven't seen Die Hard 2. I've seen the first one.
I don't remember what that was about.
That was the airport one.
That was the airport one. Okay. Is that the one with Samuel Jackson in it? Or was he in
No, that's 3.
He was in 3. Okay.
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Okay. Yeah, all these run together. After the first one, all of them sort of the rest of them meld together, and I don't remember what they're
I would like to watch Die Hard 2. Because, I mean, I think I heard it's pretty good.
Jacob's Ladder. Yeah, I remember. That was a weird movie. And I remember not really liking it too much at the time, just because it was one of those films. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet or not, but it was one of those films that you have. It has I think Tim Robbins in it. Yeah, and they remade it. They remade it with.
Yeah, I've heard it's really like a psychologically creepy type film.
Yeah. Do you remember the twist at the end?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I know it's been 30 years, but I probably not as many people have seen that as some of the others on the top 10 list, so I won't spoil it.
Yes, I would agree. It's a Christmas movie.
What is? Which one?
The Die Hard.
I thought they were talking about Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah, I thought they were talking about Kindergarten Cop because it came out in December.
No, Die Hard.
Okay. Die Hard? The first Die Hard. I don't know about Die Hard 2. Sure oh, yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is.
It's a nice family-friendly.
So nice family-friendly Christmas film. One film on this list that actually surprised me a little bit was number 8.
Presumed Innocent?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but it has Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah. It's what I think it might be one of his lesser-known films. But I remember seeing it, and I remember the twist at the end. I watched it because it was Harrison Ford. I loved Harrison Ford. So, and also the girl who plays in Die Hard 1 and 2 as the wife, she was in that movie. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Have any of you guys...
My dad ruined Harrison Ford for me.
He did? Why?
He didn't like him. And I said, why didn't you like him? He's Han Solo. He's Indiana Jones. What's not to like about Harrison Ford?
Uh-huh.
And he said, he looks like a farmer. I've never been able to unsee it.
What?
Wait,
he looks like a farmer.
Yeah.
Farmer?
So that's all you think when you see Harrison Ford? That he's a
that's
farmer?
all I see. Yep.
I mean
he came close to it in Witness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought he used to
probably
run
farming his own weed these days.
Oh, does he?
I would imagine so.
Oh.
I mean, I thought I heard he used to take care of animals at like an animal store or shop.
That's funny.
He used to have pet rats. Remember, Mom?
Oh, yes, I know, because they were talking about that when they were filming.
He talked about it. When,
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
When they were filming The Last Crusade.
So you could say he was taking care of animals. Kind of like a farmer.
He doesn't strike. I think he used to be in construction, unless I'm mixing that up with Arnold. But I think carpentry. Yeah, carpentry. That's it. He did. Pacific Hot. Oh, I forgot that came out in 1990. I saw that.
Have you ever heard of the Swordsman? It looks like it's a Hong Kong movie. Probably not.
Mm-mm.
Is Corey Michaels going to show up at any point?
Well, he said he would, but that was the last we heard of him.
Oh, he told me he wouldn't be able to make it, but probably 91.
Okay, 91. Well, that's the most important.
I know. Yeah, I know that's the most important. That's going to be your favorite one of all time. I know why. We all know why. People in the comments section could take a guess on why.
Because I think he's a big Goodfellas fan, so I thought we would wait for him, but he's not.
I think he would have been here by now if he was going to show up. We're almost 40 minutes into it.
Yeah.
RoboCop 2 came out.
RoboCop
I haven't
2.
seen. To be honest, I have never seen the first one nor the others. The only one I saw was the remake.
I actually like the remake.
A lot of people hated it.
We were talking about remakes and how they're very rarely good, but I think part of the reason why I liked it was because I like Joel Kinnaman.
Okay, yeah.
So it worked for me. But I mean, honestly, I've never been really into RoboCop. A lot of people love that movie and think it's really wonderful. A lot of people compare it to, Terminator, obviously, but I don't think it's as good. Okay. You agree with me. Thank you. It's okay.
I love it.
A lot of people,
in my opinion, there are a handful of perfect movies. Off the top of my head, I can think of Terminator 2, Tremors, and RoboCop.
Yeah, a lot of people really love RoboCop.
What about the second one? Since it came out
I couldn't tell you what the second one was about.
The second one sucks.
Okay.
Okay, well. See, the first one probably was really good. Second one didn't do well. The first Terminator was really good, and the second Terminator was even better. Terminator, I think, won this round.
What were you getting ready to say, Simon?
Just the second one sucks. It was directed by Irwin Kershner. Is it Irwin or Irvin? Can't never remember.
And who is he?
The director of Empire Strikes Back.
Oh,
wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
And yet this one wasn't as good?
No. As far as I remember, the plot is that there is a drug on the streets with a drug lord, and their idea for a new Terminator is to capture the drug lord and put him in a Terminator, or put him in
the suit, the RoboCop
suit. Yeah.
Oh,
and then RoboCop and the drug lord fight as robots, and it makes no sense. And there's this little kid. There's like an 11-year-old kid who's like one of the henchmen, and it just completely ruins the film.
Wow.
So Simon, what about RoboCop do you love? Like, what makes it a perfect film for you?
Yeah.
There are no wasted scenes. It is
just efficient,
schlocky but self-aware, and it actually has something to say. And yeah, it's just, I love it.
So you love the idea, kind of, maybe more than the execution, or?
No, I love the execution more than the idea, actually.
Okay.
Because I mean,
it felt to me
the concept of RoboCop is stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous, but the execution, Paul Verhoeven just made it a social commentary, and it actually had something to say. You know,
I guess it's more like just a good old time film.
I'm interested to see what you think about it whenever you get around to watching it, Arturo.
What, me? Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind watching it. I mean, I saw bits of it, I think, when you were watching it, Mom, and then I saw bits of it whenever my dad was watching when we were going down to Florida that one time. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I just know that there was that one part. Okay, this is at the very beginning, but where he gets shot up, so badly. That to me felt very the way he was shot up felt very
painful.
More. I don't know what word.
It looked really bad.
Well, yeah, like
terrible.
Slightly. Would you say maybe slightly cartoony a little bit? Just the way he got shot up.
The way he got shot up.
Yeah, I mean, I could be. I don't know the right word to say. It just, to me, it felt very unrealistic how he got shot up, but I don't know.
Okay, well, see, I just remember it looking really brutal and awful. I don't remember feeling like it was cartoony, but
it was a shot. Well, it was a shotgun that they used to hurt him.
I think it was really just an effects limitation, because I remember that scene, and he's just busy lying there, and the squibs are going off, and he's screaming with putting his head from side to side, with no movement in his body. And I think that's probably the thing that makes it unrealistic to you.
I just know, I remember how it ends, though, but I won't say it here for those that haven't seen it.
Oh, then you've pretty much almost basically seen the movie.
Not really. I haven't watched it like from start to
all
finish.
The way through.
Yeah, no. It's just, I know it's a little similar to the remake, but not really. Just different. Have
you ever seen that famous fan picture? It was at some Comic-Con or something like that, but Paul Weller's standing there beside a fan with the biggest smile on his face, and her t-shirt says, "Remember that time RoboCop shot that guy in the dick?"
That reminds me of that. That reminds me. Okay, so you guys or somebody, we were having a live stream discussion before, and I mentioned that someone had suggested that I watch, what was it, Scene 38 or Scene something, whatever. It's like a fan recreation of this scene, and I completely forgotten about the part in RoboCop when that happened, when he shot somebody there. I completely forgot about that part, but this whole fan remake thing was it was so ridiculous. I did a reaction to it, but I'm not going to put it up because have you guys seen it? Do you guys even know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You do. Okay.
I do.
Were you the one that suggested it to me? Okay. I can't remember who suggested it to me.
I already know what she said. Like, she told me.
So.
Okay. It was so terrible. It's like, I am not putting this up. So, like, basically, here's the premise. It's the scene where someone's getting attacked. RoboCop, it's a girl, she's getting attacked. She's about to be raped by these guys. RoboCop shows up and he shoots him. He shoots him in the penis. And then all these other people that are attacking women start showing up left and right, about ready to attack the different women. And he's just shooting them all. He shoots them all in the penis. And so all these penises are flying around. And it's like so gross. I'm like, I'm not going to do this.
Did you like stop halfway into it?
I didn't stop halfway into it, but I did say something in there about that. I'm not going to. I was just horrified. It was so gross. It was like, I'm not going to put this up. I can't. And then I was thinking to myself, did this happen in the first movie? I don't remember this. So I think it was only one person he shot in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
Well, yeah, maybe at some point down the road I'll try to get around to watching the first RoboCop movie.
You would probably. I mean, I think you would probably like it.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with me. Like, RoboCop didn't like impress me as much, but I don't know. I mean, you know, when you get older, you kind of have different changes.
Change your mind.
It seems like because it was post Terminator, I feel like
they wanted to do that.
It fell short with the production quality on RoboCop. It seems like it could have definitely used either a bigger budget or better effects or something. But does anyone else feel like that? Like,
absolutely not.
I feel like I think it was fine how it, like, from what I've seen, like, just the effects at the time. I mean, it was successful.
Did like either of you guys
the final scene of the movie? I guess I won't say it, but
oh yeah,
with the
I think I kind of
the arms.
Yeah,
yeah.
But I mean,
that was about effect shop, but like
it seems like
1990.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys?
Everything was great.
But yeah, RoboCop 2 came out in 90. Sadly, wasn't as good from what Simon said.
Yeah, well, the second. The reason we're talking about RoboCop is because the second one.
The second one came out in 90. You know, I mean, it's funny because usually sequels are either a hit or a miss, and sadly, RoboCop 2
most of the time they feel like they're a miss.
It's like
to me.
You want to succeed from the previous film, so it's like, why not? I don't know. I feel like need a better like writer to do a sequel.
It seems like the second film is usually worse, and then the third one is like better than the second, but not quite as good as the original.
As the first, yeah. Like Iron Man.
Money grab, and then the third is like real good, you know.
Yeah.
It's like Friday the 13th, like how the second one was actually better than the first, and then the fourth one was better than the third one. Weird.
Well, movies that are coming to mind when you said what you said, Joe, is Iron Man. Like, I felt like the second one was weak. The third one was better than the second one, but not as good as the first. But with regard to RoboCop, did either of you get the impression that it felt like it was kind of like not necessarily a ripoff of Terminator, but kind of sort of cashing in on that concept of a cyborg type?
Maybe concept, but I don't think it was like, at least from what I've seen.
If Terminator hadn't come out, it might not have been made.
Yeah.
It was made because of Terminator.
Oh.
But the script predates Terminator, or at least the release of Terminator.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I'll have to rewatch that one.
Yeah.
I do like it. I do like the movie.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but it was just one of those. It was one of those movies where I just don't. I'm not super in love with it. You know, kind of like how like Total Recall is super popular. A lot of people really love it. I'm not crazy about it. It's got Arnold in it. I'll watch it because it's Arnold, but it just doesn't like it doesn't click with me.
I mean,
Like
I've mentioned this before. You kind of have to take things with a grain of salt. Like, you may not like something as much as what other people make a big deal out of this, which, you know, I've kind of like done that, kind of like get my anticipation up that much because you don't know.
Yeah,
I hear it's great, but then you go and watch, it's like, it's okay.
I guess I get annoyed when I build up an expectation in my mind about how a movie is going to be based on what I hear, how other people feel about it, and then I'm disappointed in it. So, not really disappointed, but okay. Army of the Dead. I'm still pissed off about that movie.
Yes, definitely. And it still shows
because I'm thinking about, you know, how what good buzz it was getting beforehand, and then it was awful.
Scenes alongside
Social.
Would you say RoboCop is kind of like making fun of itself sometimes?
Paul Verhoeven didn't want to make it initially, but his wife read it and convinced him to make it because he thought it was just a stupid premise, a stupid, dumb action flick. But then rereading it, he saw ways he could inject that social satire into it and make it actually be about something.
Okay. That's interesting. What else did he make?
Starship Troopers.
Oh, that was him.
Black Book, I think it was called.
Okay.
Now, has anybody heard of Days of Thunder?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Tom
Did you guys like that
movie?
movie? I never saw it.
He did Total Recall. Paul Verhoeven did Total Recall.
He did.
Basic Instinct, Showgirls, Starship Troopers, Hollow Man, Black Book.
Oh, he did Basic Instinct. Oh wow, that's so interesting. I don't always remember who does what in these big movies. It's very rare that I can connect the dots of what a director has done. Wow, he's done a lot of films. That's interesting. Okay.
That's Days of Thunder is a sports movie.
NASCAR.
It's a race car driver. Tom Cruise.
That was when he met his future wife, Nicole
Yeah.
Kidman.
Yeah, I don't think that one did very well. That was one of his bombs, if you could call it that.
Was it really? I didn't remember that it had bombed. I guess because I just realized it was, you know, I was aware of it, but I wasn't really tapped into it.
I think it bombed. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. But it seems like it bombed at the time.
Well, it might have.
Jetsons, the movie came out this year.
Oh gosh. Did it? Is that the cartoon?
Yeah. Animation.
There were a lot of films, but have either of you guys seen Flashback?
Backtrack?
It was called Flashback. It had Kiefer Sutherland and Dennis Hopper in it. I saw that once, and I remembered that I enjoyed it okay, but I've completely forgotten about it until I was going through this list and looking at
the tiniest of bells.
Yeah, it's the tiniest of bells. Okay. It's an adventure comedy film. I think didn't also Flatliners come out in 1990?
It did.
Did that? What did you guys think about that?
I liked it. I was a goth, so all things
You were
death and resurrection.
Okay. Did you see the remake?
Did I? No, I don't think so.
I didn't either.
That had Kiefer and Julia Roberts, and who else was in that?
Well, I think was Jason Patrick in that too, or no?
It was a lot of young
Kevin Bacon
stars, young up-and-comers.
Julia Roberts was in it, if I remember.
Yeah, Julia Roberts, William Baldwin, Oliver Platt, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I remember they were trying to make William Baldwin a star, and that didn't really work.
Okay, I got to remember who.
You know what else
who
came
even
out
is.
this year? Young Guns 2. I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
seen it,
which
but-
I have never seen.
Yeah, neither have I. Have any of you guys seen Young Guns 2?
Yep. Can't remember anything about it. That was 30 years ago.
Okay, you know what I remember about it? I remember the song, the John Bon Jovi song,
Blaze of
See, like-
Glory.
"Blaze of Glory." That was playing all over the place when that movie came out.
Even I heard the sequel of this wasn't as good as the first one.
Did you hear they're supposed to be doing another one?
How is that possible?
Well, my question exactly.
I thought I heard how it ends because in reality with the real people, how is that possible to resurrect them for a third?
It's a Young Guns Flatliners crossover.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
That's a good
Young
one.
Guns of the Dead.
I remember Dead Calm, and I think that had Nicole Kidman in it. But that was 1980. That wasn't.
DuckTales the movie.
Oh my
Treasure
goodness.
of the Lost Lamp.
I don't remember that. DuckTales, the movie?
The movie,
Yeah.
animated movie. I remember Mousetrap. Here we are going backwards to the 1980s, but I remember Mousetrap.
Why are we going backwards?
Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine. These are. It's making me remember things that I saw a long time ago, maybe once. That was it.
And I liked it. Okay.
What about Edward Scissorhands?
Oh yeah, that has grown into a cult classic.
Oh,
I saw that once.
Did Candyman come out in 90? I thought Candyman came out.
I think that's 91.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not 1990.
Exorcist, the third
92.
Exorcist movie came out in 90.
That was actually a pretty good film. Exorcist 3.
That's funny, like a sequel to another sequel that's better than the second one.
Yeah, I thought it was decent. As far as Edward Scissorhands, I saw it once, and it has grown in popularity. I think since then it's become like a cult classic type of thing. It was okay. It was different.
Chuck Norris has
For sure.
film. Chuck Norris has a film here in 90, Delta Force 2.
Oh, I just remember the first Delta Force.
No, this is the second
okay. One. Yeah, that's what he's talking about, what I was mentioning about Young Guns.
Yeah, Emilio probably wants to do anything right about now.
Right. That's right. Poor Emilio. Yeah.
Wait, is that the guy that played the Indian?
No, that's the guy who played Billy the Kid.
Oh.
You're
Which, it's funny. You've been watching Longmire, and it's got that guy.
Well, that's what you're thinking about, Lou Diamond Phillips. I love Longmire. I think I'm going to do a review of that.
I actually like that actor. He's something about
Lou Diamond Phillips. Yeah, I like him too. First time I ever saw him was in La Bamba.
Oh yeah, and he's in Young Guns. He's kind of got this cool attitude, just chill.
I thought he was really cool in the first movie.
And in Young Guns,
when he did this scene with the knife, he had this knife, and they were in this town, like hiding behind this I don't know, like a partial wall or something, and Keeper was looking for he was trying to, I guess, spy when the girl that he liked, when she was going to come out with this guy, and they were talking, and I just remember that Lou Diamond Phillips was talking about Billy the Kid, and he called him El Chivato, Billy the Kid, and he had this knife in his hand, and he did this little twisty thing. I thought that was so freaking cool. It was just like a couple seconds, but for some reason I never forgot it. I thought it was really cool what he did.
Have you ever heard of White Hunter Black Heart? It looks like it's a Clint Eastwood movie. It's a Clint Eastwood movie.
Is it really?
Yeah, I never heard of it until now.
Had you guys heard of that film?
What's it called?
White Hunter Black Heart. It's
no.
It's based on the 1953 book of the same name. It's set in the 1950s, and Clint Eastwood's character travels to Africa for his next film.
I don't remember this movie at all.
Nope, neither have I.
That's interesting. He
Did
directed
anyone,
it.
Yeah, he directed and he acted in it.
What was that, Joe?
Did anyone remember a movie called Awakenings with Robert De Niro and
Yeah.
I think Robin Williams, right?
Yes, I think Robin Williams was in it. Was that
It was,
1990
yeah.
as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember
That was
that.
the movie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
No, I was just going to say I only saw it once. So.
I think that was the movie that put Robin Williams on the map as a dramatic actor.
Yeah, that's what I kind of remembered it as. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I remember it had some good performances from him and Robert De Niro, of course.
So, Good Morning Vietnam didn't get him acknowledged as, because wasn't that kind of a dramatic role?
It was dramatic, but he was very manic in it.
Okay.
You know, it was very much Robin Williams doing his thing, whereas Awakenings was a very subdued performance.
Different. What about didn't Dead Poet Society? When did that come out?
88, 89.
Yeah. That was kind of a dramatic role.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
So that would be it.
Yeah. Okay.
What about Dead Poet Society?
The remake of Night of the Living Dead came out this year, and George Romero was the screenwriter.
I don't think I've ever seen the remake.
I saw a little bit of it when you had it on because you thought it was like in color. You mixed that up with the remake.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought they had just taken the original and colored it.
Yeah, that's what but then you found out it was just the remake.
So then I did see it, but then I forgot all about it.
Well, no, you saw bits of it. I don't think you even
parts of it. Okay. They made 6 more Tremors movies. I had a feeling there were a lot. That's funny.
And also, yeah, Child's Play 2. That's another one I want to watch. That came out this year.
That franchise seems to be really popular. But
which one?
The Child's Play movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people really love them, even though, I mean, I feel like the ones after the first one weren't really all that great.
I thought I heard the second one was fine.
I don't remember if I even saw it. If
I
I did,
went back and watched a lot of them the last couple years when I was kind of watching all the It stuff.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, my son got really into Pennywise and stuff, so I showed him some scary movies.
Oh no!
Yeah, the Child's Play was a little too much at first, but he likes them. I thought they were all pretty good. The second one I remember being pretty good. I don't know if I really, they went on with like the Seed of Chucky and the Bride of Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Later, but the first few were probably good. The first one's really good.
Oh yeah, I like the first one.
Really,
it's kind of funny too, though.
He's such this asshole in a doll.
Well, okay, Arturo, the guy who played the bad.
You told me, but what was?
Okay, well, so he was in Deadwood. His name is Brad Dourif, I think.
Okay,
I think that's his name. He was in Deadwood. He was one of my favorite characters in Deadwood, but he also played in The Exorcist 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Wasn't he Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings?
Yes, he was. I think he was. He's a really good actor.
Came out in 90.
The Michael Gross who played Bert Gummer is nothing like his character. What's this in reference to?
Hey, lady. Are they talking to you?
I think. I mean, I recognize this. He's one of my subs. I recognize his name, but I'm not sure what he's referring to. I'm gonna have to look up Bert Gummer.
Michael
in Tremors.
Wasn't that the dad from Family Ties? Michael Gross?
The Michael Gross who played Bert Gummer is nothing like his character. So Burt Gummer is a Burt Gummer is a character from no, it's he's one of those actors where you know his face, but I'll put it in the private chat.
Predator 2 came out this year. Which
Predator 2, that's right, the one with Danny Glover and Maria Conchita Alonso. Oh, hold on, Simon, I'm just now seeing your stuff in the private chat. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, you got all the list of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I heard that Predator 2 wasn't, like, I know it wasn't as good as the first one, obviously, but I heard it wasn't that bad.
Sorry, I'm distracted by...
Yeah, it's kind of meh.
Meh.
I wasn't super crazy about it.
The only real thing it did was introduce aliens into the Predator franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't.
Wait, you talking... Like, at the end, are you talking about the end of Predator? Yeah, that's right, because it shows in his trophy room, right?
Yep, it shows an alien skull.
I remember that was a big twisty thing. Yeah.
And so wait, is Predator technically a prequel to the Alien franchise?
Well, it wouldn't be a prequel.
Well, because let's be real, the Alien franchise is set in the future.
Oh, I mean, that's right.
Timeline-wise, you know?
I think that Alien versus Predator took off in the comics, and then it just kind of seeped into the movies.
Oh, so the comics, that integration happened in the comics first, then. That wasn't something thought up just for the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I hear they want to do, one of the directors wants Jason to have like a duel with Michael Myers. Would you see that, Mom?
Yes, I didn't read the article, but I saw the headline.
Yeah, at the end of Predator 2, the Predator gives Danny Glover like what's it called? It's not a musket. Flintlock pistol. There's an award. I always thought that would be a good jumping off point for a Predator sequel. Like a swashbuckling pirate kind of thing with a Predator.
Yeah. From another time period, you mean?
Yeah, like 16th century or something like that.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
They should. You know what? That would be cool, actually, because all of the Predator movies have taken place in present day as of the making of those films. That would be actually really cool if they did show something.
Maybe go back during, Blackbeard's time period or something.
Yeah,
let's change it up a bit.
I did see Sleepwalkers. That was gross. That was gross.
I guess I'll be avoiding that one then.
I'm not gonna, I mean, just the idea of what was going on in there was disturbing. That had Mark Hamill in it, by the way.
Wait, Sleepwalk. Wait, it came out this year?
Sleepwalkers.
Hold on,
someone brought it up. So
are you thinking about Sleepers?
No, Sleepwalker.
No, I'm talking about Arturo. Sleepwalkers is the one about the alien cat type creatures, shifting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know what year that came out, but I think he brought it up because we were talking about disturbing Stephen King material, and that was disturbing.
It came out in 92.
92. Okay, it had
because he brought up Mark Hamill, or no, you brought up Mark Hamill. There was
in there. There
was an anime film that was adapted into a movie that Mark Hamill was in, and that was
The Guyver. Death scene ever put on film.
You said it was The Guyver?
The Guyver is the movie you're thinking of.
Oh,
the anime movie that was
The Guyver.
Never
let's go.
Oh, I don't know if he just left or if no, he didn't say anything in the private chat, so I don't know where he went off to.
Yeah, I think that might have been
Tremors the Gun Nut. Yeah, this is reference back to the person I had to look him up because I couldn't remember who he was.
Are you going to try to invite Joe back on?
Well, he's got the link. He can come back on. Maybe he had to go, but he didn't say anything, so I didn't. Maybe he accidentally hit the leave studio button.
Internet problems, maybe.
Maybe. Oh, there he is.
Sorry.
You went away. You went away.
I thought I was Xing out the chat, and it took me out totally. So.
Oh, I wondered if maybe you would hit the wrong
Oh,
button.
yeah, it does say leave. I didn't read it.
Oh yeah, leave studio.
You had like the chat up on the screen, and I was trying to figure out how to get the chat down.
Oh, the private chat? Had you opened up the private chat or the regular chat?
I think so.
Yeah.
The Godfathers Part 3 came out in 90.
Oh, that was the one that had Sofia Coppola in it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder was originally meant to play that role. She backed
Oh,
out. And yeah, so at the last minute, Sofia Coppola came in and ruined the movie.
Did she direct the movie, or was she just an actress in it?
She was an actress. She was like, what, 14?
Yeah, she was young. I just remember that it got a lot of bad. It got a bad rap because, and a lot of the complaints were aimed at her. But I only saw that movie once, so I couldn't tell you. And I don't like Godfather movies, so I just didn't like it anyway, just because it was a Godfather movie.
If you hadn't seen the first two and it was a standalone movie, it probably would have been great. But a lot of people just compared it to 1 and 2, which were all-time great films.
So what was it?
I think people, didn't like her as an actress, and her dad had directed them, so I guess they thought that she shouldn't have been in it and stuff like that. I mean, it's a good movie. It has Andy Garcia in it.
Yep.
And she's in it. Al Pacino is kind of older now, but it's a good movie. But obviously 1 and 2 are incredible, in my opinion.
So speaking of Al Pacino, Simon, where did that GIF come from? What movie was that from?
That was from Godfather 3.
I was always wondering.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mom,
that's what you should have said when you came back in the chat.
Back in? Is that where he says they keep pulling me back in or whatever?
Yeah.
You should have said that when you came back into the chat.
Yeah, you should have.
So I didn't know this, but apparently Fresh Prince started this year.
Oh, the show. That was a good show. I really liked that show.
I thought, I kind of want to buy the collection for that.
Are we on to the shows now?
Well, I don't know if we're officially onto it, but Arturo must have been.
I mean, I suggested, like, TV shows are suggested.
If we have time, to talk about TV shows. Yes, we have mentioned Misery.
There was a Fresh Prince reunion show aired last year. It's quite good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was that an actual? Was that just them getting together and talking? Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
But I thought it started in '94 for some reason.
No, it was earlier.
Yeah. So it went on from 1990 to 96.
Yeah, I remember. Did you see the reunion show?
I only saw bits of it, just bits. They were talking about also the guy that passed recently.
Right, the father.
Yeah, the dad.
I didn't.
Avery Brooks.
That was his name. Did you guys watch the reunion show?
Yeah.
You did. Well, I heard that they talked about that Will Smith and the girl who played his
Aunt Viv.
That they talked about the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Can you summarize that? Like whatever they talked about during the reunion show?
Basically, she said I had a lot of stuff going on in my life that I didn't really want to talk about on set, and it came out as being sort of unfriendly. And Will was too young to realize, or didn't have enough experience to realize or to recognize what she was going through.
Oh, okay.
So that turned into antagonism.
Oh
goodness. Yeah, I thought I heard there was a little bit of an issue on set with one of the actresses and Will Smith.
They replaced her with somebody else because Will and the actress weren't getting along. But I never really knew what the problem was. And then I heard that they had talked about it in the reunion episode, but I hadn't watched it. I've got it in my to watch list, but I hadn't seen it yet.
But I've been thinking I wanted to buy like just the whole show itself.
It's a good show.
I remember they aired it on Nick at Night, I think. And some of those episodes were really funny. And there was some sad ones too. But there was the one where his girlfriend tied him up in the chair, and he had the
Didn't she leave him there or something?
Yeah, she left him there, and he was able to get out, but that was because of I guess his candle. So he puts both of his foot up on the candle to burn the rope, and it burned his foot a bit. And he whenever she sees that he escaped, and he comes behind her, and he's kind of limping because of the burn.
Oh no!
And then at the very end, he was tied up, hanging on the rope.
Oh gosh, I have a vague memory of that.
At the end of that episode, his cousin, the smaller guy,
Carlton.
Yeah. Will Smith's character brings up something about the girlfriend, and he starts running all over the place on every stage.
Yes,
but as soon as he runs, and then he drags his legs on the floor, and then he runs, to the store. He even runs to where the people are watching.
You can see the audience. Yeah, that was really funny. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, Carlton was my favorite character.
Because of that dance.
The Carlton dance. Yes. Yeah.
They have every year they have the in golf they have the Pebble Beach Pro-Am tournament where they pair the pros up with celebrities and stuff. And he's a pretty good golfer, so they invite him every year, Carlton. And he always does that dance.
That's an iconic dance, I would say.
It was so awesome. It was so funny.
Yeah, I would say probably oh, sorry, Simon, go ahead.
He took that dance from Courtney Cox dancing in Bruce Springsteen.
That video.
Yeah, I can't remember what the song was.
Was it
Dancing in the Dark?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I was going to say Dancing in the Night, but that didn't sound right. Okay, that's where he took that from. That's funny.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
I remember what it looks like, though, yeah.
I would say probably my favorite TV show would probably be when it started in 9D would probably be Fresh Prince. That was fun.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember many shows from 1990.
I was actually looking.
I made a little list.
Okay.
You want me to run through the list?
Yeah, because I didn't even look them up at all myself.
I mean, I have some up here too, but
yeah. So what premiered in 90? I have Twin Peaks, In Living Color, Dream On, Fresh Prince, Law and Order, Tiny Toon Adventures, and Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, those were some pretty, Beverly Hills 90210. That thing went on forever. What was one of the earlier ones you said?
Twin Peaks?
But you said
Twin Peaks, the David Lynch series.
Yeah, I remember that. The Laura Palmer, who killed Laura Palmer.
My friend, he's a man. Well, he was a manager. Yeah, he's one of my friends. I always see him talk about Twin Peaks. I have no idea.
119 and all that.
It's they came out a few years ago on Showtime. They had Twin Peaks: The Return, which was season 3 and maybe season 4. And I had never seen the original show, and we just started watching The Return on Showtime, and it made no sense to me. And so we liked it. My wife and I watched them all. We really liked it. They were really weird. And then we went back and watched the original series, which was 2 seasons, and we thought, now it'll make sense. And then it made even less sense.
It didn't make any sense. Yeah, I started watching.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great series. Really weird stuff,
Is it supernatural?
It doesn't give you any answers, it makes you think about what's going on and all that. But really good.
I don't think it's supernatural.
Because okay.
I never finished. I started watching it, and I never finished because it was just a little bit too off the wall and kooky to me. And the only thing I was interested in was to find out who killed Laura Palmer. And then when I found out by reading, I was like, oh, okay, why did I have a feeling that was the case?
So the Showtime series was a lot more supernatural than the original. The original was kind of more like a family TV show, and the Showtime series was a lot more out there.
So I didn't realize there was supernatural stuff.
Well, see, because there's a
Okay.
game I'm interested to play called Alan Wake, and I heard that they took inspirations from Twin Peaks, or it kind of feels like Twin Peaks. So that's why I was thinking, does it have supernatural elements in it?
Yeah, the original and the return are very different, but they're all David Lynch, involved. So
He's different. Like his films and stuff he does. Yeah, it's like you can't always wrap your brain around what he's doing.
He's got, what I like is that there's so many different characters that he uses, and there's so many connections that it really kind of engulfs you and keeps you guessing and wondering about who's really involved in what. And it's really about a town. It kind of introduces so many characters in this town, and so you never know, who matters and who doesn't, and who did what. And it's really he's a really unique filmmaker, I guess.
So
and I haven't seen like Eraserhead, and I know he's got a lot of Blue Velvet.
Yeah, Blue Velvet's weird.
I've seen Mulholland Drive. I don't think I've seen Inland Empire, and I know I haven't seen Eraserhead, but
Lost Highway.
No.
Simon?
Did you like Twin Peaks, Simon?
I really can't remember it that much. I remember enjoying it at the time, but never went back to it.
Well, so the first 2 seasons, what did it come to a resolution, or were you left hanging about stuff?
You were pretty much left hanging. It kind of, I think when they made it, they thought there was going to be another season, and there wasn't. So it wasn't done. But by like 2015 or whenever it came back,
yeah,
it was really strange how they started it. It wasn't really linear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really odd, but they did kind of tie everything back together by the end of the new show.
So that new show did, so it kind of wraps stuff up and it's done?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I mean, as much as they wanted it to be.
But that's good for the fans. You've got some sort of...
Yeah, he's kind of more like Stanley Kubrick, where he doesn't want to give you the answers to the movies. He wants to raise the questions, I guess. So if you're into that,
I'm not.
Yeah,
that's probably why. That's probably why I was. That's those kinds of things. Sometimes they work, but most of the time for me they don't. That's why I steer.
I think it worked.
Clear of that.
I'm kind of jumping into the game aspect, but I think it worked in Silent Hill too. It made you question things.
I forgot he had done The Elephant Man, and I have never seen The Straight Story. Yeah, his least strange one. That's the thing about Lynch. His stuff is so strange, like you said, and it's got it's unresolved stuff, and open-ended things, and most of the time I'm not a fan of those things. So,
to me, it feels like you know how you wake up and you had a really strange string of dreams, and you can remember them. It's as if he films those and then puts them out there.
Lets you decide.
Nothing makes sense. It's like I think dreams. You know what I mean?
I think Lynch is interested in the subconscious, but he does have a language to it. For example, I remember watching an interview with him where he said that to him, smoke means creation. So if you then go back and watch movies where he's filmed smoke beautifully, it kind of makes more sense. You can read more into the scene.
Oh yeah.
So I think he's got sort of a box of tricks, a language where, okay, smoke represents this, something else represents this, and that's how he films it. That's why it remains engaging. You sort of pick up on it subconsciously, but not really consciously.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, he's definitely different.
Have you ever heard of Beverly Hills 90210?
That's what yeah, Joe mentioned that earlier.
Okay. Yeah, Blossom.
Oh, Blossom. Okay, so I was never really a fan. Okay, the reason I recognize Blossom is because I think that well, I don't know if he directed most of this series, but that was the show that Bill Bixby was working on when he died.
Hmm.
In fact, in his later, towards the end, he was trying to direct episodes from like his little dressing room area, watching through a video camera or the screen and trying to direct with a headphone because he was too ill to be on set. To be there with them. He was so ill and frail that he was trying to direct from inside his own little place.
Wow.
And the cast came together and told him, look, you need to go home. You shouldn't be here because he was very poorly. And it wasn't long after that he died. So when I think of Blossom, I get kind of sad because I think about Bill Bixby. Darkman.
Do you guys watch Dream On?
No.
Another TV show you mentioned?
I did. That was on HBO, right?
Mm-hmm. I love that show.
Don't even.
Wait, what's it about, Simon?
Yeah. What is it about?
It's this guy called Martin Tupper, and the intro of the show shows him as a baby sitting in front of the TV, then as a toddler, and it just goes through his childhood, and he's just constantly sitting in front of the TV. And then it cuts to the actual show where he's an adult. I think he's a publisher or something like that. But it's basically a sex comedy. And as he goes through life, he has these flashbacks to stuff he'd watched, like black and white clips of stuff illustrating the parallels of what he's going through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that. Who was
It was
in
hilarious. Who's in it? Brian Benben.
Yeah, he wasn't a famous person, but yeah, it was basically a lot of episodes where he just met girls. I think they introduced a lot of actresses, I guess.
They were.
Oh yeah, no, I have never heard of this. Never heard of this show. I mean, that's not saying a lot. I mean, I didn't really have a TV at the time, but
wait, even in 90, Mom?
Yeah, no, not in 1990.
When did you guys even get a television?
Like after you were born? Yeah, after you were born. Darkman. We haven't talked about Darkman, but I did notice it on the list yesterday, I think, when I was scrolling through. I've never seen Darkman, I don't think.
Is that a show? Wait, that's a show or
Wasn't that based on a comic?
Darkman.
Is that based on a comic? Yeah.
I think it was. It's a Sam Raimi film.
Darkman.
Sam Raimi, that's right. And Liam Neeson was in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember who else was in it. But I've been wanting to watch that movie, and I've never really watched it all the way through yet. I don't know why, but yeah.
It's good. It's very good, not great.
Okay. Maybe that was the sense I got from it, and maybe that was why I just was never drawn to it. I don't know. It's not very long, is it?
It's about...
I don't think it's a super long film. Hey, Jeff. How you doing? All these.
I don't even... Wait, where is the time? I can't even find the time.
I bet it was an experience. Lynch he's out there.
96 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty short then. Brian Ben. Oh, okay.
Okay, this is a movie that came out in 90.
I kind of would like to see that sooner than later. Okay, Frances McDormand. I was wanting to say Bonnie Bedelia, but that didn't sound right.
What is it about? Darkman?
Doesn't he get severely disfigured?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember. I mean, I know the gist of it, but I can't remember what was it that caused him to get disfigured. Was it a chemical thing or a fire?
I can't remember, actually.
You don't remember? Okay.
It's been years since I watched it.
Oh, and then he can do something I don't remember if he was a scientist or something, but he could do something. Couldn't he like fix his face for a little bit?
Just
But
see
it wore
Robert,
off.
like, I could just kind of see like wraps around his face from the pictures I'm seeing.
But I thought he could fix it temporarily, but then it would wear off or something. And it's kind of like a revenge story, I think, because I thought that whatever happened to him had been done to him or something. But, you know, like I said, I haven't seen it. I only just know little bits and pieces about it. And they made more movies, but I don't think they had Liam Neeson in it.
Oh.
So.
Liam Neeson.
Yep.
Did anybody like In Living Color, the TV show?
Oh, that was the one you had mentioned that I was going to talk about a little bit. I had seen little bits and pieces of it, so that's the first time I saw Jim Carrey, but I didn't realize it was Jim. Like I didn't pay attention to him as an actor, but I remember Fire Marshal Bill, right, or Fire Marshal Bob.
Oh, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's in that. Wait, when did that show start? 90?
90.
Okay, yeah. He's the one with like the messed up teeth, and he's like,
Yeah, he's
let
like-
me show you something.
Yeah.
The one that I saw that my Corey brought up on YouTube one time was he gets in that little Barbie car and he just drives through the wall. Drives through the wall. I don't know how much have you seen, but yeah, they're out there.
I've seen because I remember it used to come on when we would be at grandma's house or something, and so I would see it. But also, I think we do have at least one season of In Living Color.
Yeah.
But I had found out that Jennifer Lopez, that was one of the early shows she got her start on. She was one of the dancer ladies.
One of the Fly Girls, yeah.
The Fly Girls, that's what they called them, yeah.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx started there, the Wayans brothers.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the Wayans brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a Saturday Night Live, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Guy, but they were kind of trying to compete with Saturday Night Live. So I didn't watch it a whole lot, but it was a big show. I mean, it did really well for 3 or 4 years, and you know, launched Jim Carrey for sure.
Yeah.
And just bringing this up is just making me think of that funny scene with him in the car. And he had, I don't know, Joe, if you remember that. It was like a Christmas one. He gets on that like little Barbie car and just like hits it and then just goes through the wall.
I remember Matt and Tim used to love that, but I didn't realize that was him until after Ace Ventura. And then I found out that was that guy that was on that show that, you know, that burned up guy, Fire Marshal, whatever. Yeah. I have seen Wild at Heart, I think, but I don't remember what it was about.
Oh, when we get to 94, boy, that's a pretty big year for films and for Jim Carrey.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He had, what, 3 films that year?
That was when he started to kind of catapult a little bit more into the,
Corey will definitely, yeah. Corey's into all, you know, Dumb and Dumber.
What were you getting ready to say, Joe?
I think I was just gonna say, like, Jim Carrey had been around. You know, he was a stand-up in the 80s, and
I don't Dirty Harry.
Remember a movie called Once Bitten from like 1985?
With Lauren Hutton?
Yeah, he was in that, and I like that movie.
He was in Dirty Harry.
Easy, but you know, he was in that, and he did a movie, a drama, like a made-for-TV movie called Doing Time on Maple Drive, I think, where
I saw that.
He played a closeted gay guy.
Yeah.
Who tried to commit suicide or something.
Yeah.
And I saw it before he was like famous for being funny, and I thought he did really well in that as a dramatic, you know, part. So years later, when you know you saw him do dramas pretty well, it didn't surprise me because I had seen him do that movie, and I knew he could do both.
Wow.
Well.
He's a very good dramatic actor, and my first exposure to him was through comedy, but then later I found out about, you know, the one you're talking about, Doing Time on Maple Drive, and
And that had Aunt Becky, right? Aunt Becky was in that from Full House.
I don't remember. I just remember the name, and I remember that it was a dramatic role, and he was very good in it. I remember Once Bitten, but I never saw it, so I didn't really connect that that's who that was. But when I knew that he was a very good dramatic actor was in Liar Liar.
Oh, yeah.
Surprisingly enough, there are some quite touching moments in there, especially at the end. So, no, it doesn't surprise me that he would be good in that role, but I think it doesn't seem like he's done very well in dramatic roles since he was established as a comedian.
Yeah. There was that movie that came out.
Truman Show.
Well, it was a few years ago. It was kind of
Eternal Sunshine
of the Spotless Mind. I've never seen that movie.
Is it like
it's really good?
I've heard it's very good, but I don't know why I have kind of just not gravitated toward it. And it's on up there. Like it's very highly rated.
It was good in Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie.
He was over the top in Sonic the Hedgehog, but my favorite line was the one that he said about coffee.
I love the way you make them. Yeah.
What did he say? I saw it, but I don't remember. What did he say?
He was yelling at his one of his little assistant guys. And what did the guy say? Did he say something to him about,
like he added something
that
he
coffee
liked in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he
said
specialties
or
yeah, and he said something about
of course I love the way you make them.
I love the way you make them. But I don't know why that tickled me. That was really funny to me.
And see, yeah.
Matt, we're on 1990. We're just talking about 1990 right now. We're not doing the whole decade yet. We're just going to go year by year with each live stream. Yes.
Are you into vampire stuff at all, Sin?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should see that movie then, Once Bitten.
See, I think the reason that I stayed away from it is because it's comedic. It's not. It's a vampire comedy.
It might be good though.
It's really cheesy, but I think it's like good cheese. But my wife loves everything vampire, and she thinks it sucks. So I don't know. You might not like it.
Yeah. See, like dumb comedy, like I've said, is not my thing, and
what if it's not dumb comedy? Might be
comedic vampire stuff has not really been anything I've gravitated toward. But have you heard about this show called Things We Do in the Shadows or something like that? Have you heard about that? That's some sort of, I think, vampire comedy.
It's good.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about then.
It's Taika Waititi.
Yeah, that's right. I think there's 2 seasons or something.
Can't remember.
Because my brother...
Have you seen Flight of the Conchords?
I don't think I have. I've heard of it.
Well, it's very Taika Waititi. If you like Taika Waititi's comedy, you'll like it.
Well, I've seen what he did with oh my gosh.
Soar?
No, not that one. Oh my goodness, Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh, Colin.
Jojo Rabbit. He's really good. Hey, Colin.
Am I here?
My goodness, Jojo Rabbit.
Am I here?
Yep. Hello. I'm hearing. Yeah. I'm hearing.
Hey,
Colin.
How's it going? I'm sorry I'm late. I was really looking forward to it, and then I have a problem where I fall asleep randomly. And I woke up. I was so bummed out, but I was like, I hope you guys are still doing it.
Yeah, we are. We've kind of jumped all over the place. We were talking about Taika.
Yeah, I just got here. That show is like my favorite comedy from the last couple of years. I've watched it probably 3 times.
Oh my gosh!
The 3rd season. It's really.
There's 2 seasons.
Yeah, there's 2 seasons. Yeah, 2. Matt Berry is so funny. He's just really good comedian. He's a British comedian. That show it's on Hulu. It's so good.
I think I didn't know it was on Hulu. I think my brother put it on our Vudu account, so now we have it on Vudu. I don't know if he was, Matt. Were you about to mention the number 23, the Jim Carrey movie? Because I don't think you knew about that. Is Arturo frozen? Or
Wait,
did I
what?
say Matt?
Wait,
Did
what? Sorry, I
I was
was
talking to you. You were like,
I
I
was
thought
just
you were
read-
frozen. I was talking about what Matt said. Matt, he said he thought maybe you were getting ready to talk about the number 23 with Jim Carrey, but I don't even know if you know about that movie, so I'm not sure if that's what you were trying to say. We're talking about him as a dramatic actor.
I don't even know if I've seen Truman.
No, he's talking about the number 23. No, I don't think that's what he was getting ready to mention. I don't know.
Hold on. Let me read this.
Okay. Just talking about Jim Carrey as a dramatic actor. So, Colin.
Yep.
What are your top 3 films from 1990? We kind of talked about ours.
I need to look again. I looked earlier, and man, top 3. I know what number 1 is. Get back to me in 1 minute. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Art.
Yeah, right. I was actually going to say now what are our favorites of this year 90 film wise?
Well, Joe said his, and I don't remember. Simon, did you say yours?
He said RoboCop.
I think so, yeah.
Home Alone, and Tremors.
Ah, okay.
No, not Home Alone.
Right.
Oh, not Home Alone.
Was it Gremlins?
Gremlins 2?
I know there's so many in 1990.
Well, wait. Didn't RoboCop come out in the 80s or?
RoboCop 2 was 90. I was just looking at this list.
Yeah.
And Gremlins 2 was. Did anyone watch the Key and Peele skit about Gremlins 2?
No.
It's really good. Key and Peele's really good.
I know. They're pretty
funny. I
funny.
need to look up what I
like.
Any Goodfellas fans in the room?
Yeah, that's probably a top 3. I love Martin Scorsese. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I was holding out for Corey because I think he really likes it, but he's not here. So
yeah,
I don't think. Wait, Colin, you know my cousin Corey, right? He
yeah, he's been in these before, right?
Yeah.
He did. Okay, he did. He's the bad general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen that?
I watched part of it.
Oh Lord, did you see him singing?
No, I couldn't.
The singing.
His voice was a little much after a while.
Well, that wasn't him singing.
I didn't see him singing though.
No, yeah, the one where okay.
Yeah, that was an alternate.
He was trying to imitate Skeletor from He-Man.
Oh my God.
That was his inspiration for that voice.
I just saw there's a new He-Man cartoon, a new He-Man coming out on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Oh, it looks awesome. It looks like the 80s.
Does it really?
Yeah.
He definitely looks
Joe Runner's Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith produced or something.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Interesting.
So I would say maybe Kindergarten Cop, but it's been a while since I've seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would be there just because I was 5 in 1990, and I remember the commercial came on, and it blew my mind because I loved the cartoon, and that was the first time I realized that cartoons could also be movies.
Live action.
I still remember that day being so. My mind was blown, and I loved the Turtles movie. Yep.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
I kind of want to add it as well. I mean, I would. Goodness, it's kind of hard. I think Kindergarten Cop, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then Total Recall for me. But
really, you like Total Recall that much?
No, Kindergarten Cop, maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it has been a while, so that's a little iffy. And then Total Recall at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's your top 3. That kind of surprised it. Of course, you just finished watching Total Recall.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess if I were to pick, which I like a little more, probably Kindergarten Cop. But I don't know. I mean, then maybe there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But the thing with that, it's been a while since I've seen that movie, so I don't know. Maybe Kindergarten Cop.
So, Sin, Where do you feel like Total Recall falls a little short, maybe?
I think I think part of the reason is, well, it felt a little bit out there for me. Some of the stuff that they showed in there, like the girl with the 3 boobs, it was like, okay. And then
maybe you made me wish I had 3 hands.
No, you're doing fine too.
And then he pulls the thing out of his nose. But I think what annoys me, not really annoys me about it, but just it's open-ended. That's one of the things. You don't really completely, has it really been fully decided whether he was really dreaming or if it was real or if he died?
I think so.
Okay. So, and I guess I don't know beyond those things what it is about it that, like, I don't hate it, but it's just not.
I'm surprised, since you're such a big Arnold fan and you like sci-fi too, right?
I do like sci-fi. I mean, Terminator's a sci-fi. It's a sci-fi genre.
I actually forgot Misery came out this year. So now I'm debating.
Yeah, we talked about Misery. I don't know, honestly, what it is. I couldn't accurately tell you, probably.
Did you guys talk about Dances with Wolves?
We did. And all the awards that it won, and Kevin Costner being the director. And
do you like that one, Colin?
I like it. I don't love it. It's a little slow, but it's well done, I think.
Yeah, it's very well done. It was just, I had mentioned that it was really depressing. So it's not one of those movies that I like to return to. I think I've seen it once all the way through, possibly twice, but it's just not. I just remember that was the first time I saw Graham Greene.
Oh yeah,
classic. And he's in Longmire, which I've been watching.
Longmire, yeah, my mom watches Longmire.
That's such a good show.
I love Zahn McClarnon is one of my favorites. I guess he plays the chief, the Indian chief or sheriff. But he's an awesome Indian actor.
You talking about the little guy, Matthias?
Maybe. He's got like a bony face.
Long hair. I love that guy.
Face.
I love that guy.
Zahn McClarnon is awesome.
Wait, which character, Mom?
Little short guy. He's so cute.
Wait.
The
Indian dude, long dark hair.
The sheriff on the res.
Angular face.
You saw him in the episode we watched this past Sunday.
You mean from Young Guns, right? Him?
No. No. You're thinking his friend Henry. This is the police chief on the reservation. He's a short little guy. He's got long hair.
Yeah, him?
Yeah. I really like him.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is. That's a great show.
Oh, like in real life or his character?
In real life, as an actor. He's been he was in Fargo season 2, which is like
I haven't seen that.
Best show ever. And he was in basically one episode of Westworld, which is like one of the greatest episodes of television I've ever seen.
Was that first season?
Season 2. Season 1 was better, but season 2 had that episode that was like, it was the best.
I started season 2 and lost interest right after the first episode.
Oh, I would watch episode 8, even on its own.
Oh, just by itself?
He's the star of that episode.
Okay. Maybe I would watch it just for him.
I recommend it.
Yeah, I guess for right now, if I were to pick my favorite of 90, I guess, for right now, it might change. Probably Kindergarten Cop. What about you?
That's your top?
Well, I mean, like my pick for now.
Colin, have you come up with your list yet?
Yeah, I think it's hard to pick. Like, I haven't seen Goodfellas for a while, but that would be a possibility. Team, because I know the number one you guys already mentioned is Tremors. That's definitely number one for me.
That was a good movie.
Oh, yeah. I love Tremors. So that must be a good movie, because a lot of people have said that.
You should watch it, Joe. It's a lot of fun.
I never saw it. Yeah, I mean, they made a bunch of sequels that were all pretty much straight to DVD quality. But the first one's really, it's a classic. It's almost like a classic B movie, but it's like a little better than a B movie.
It's really good. I remember, I think Fred Ward was in it.
Yep. Kevin Bacon,
and Reba McEntire.
Reba McEntire, Bert, whatever. That's in all the other Tremors movies.
Fred Ward played in this movie from the 80s that I have mentioned before called Remo Williams. Have you watched that before?
I love that movie.
Yeah. It's such a fun film, isn't it? I was blown away when I saw it the first time. I've always liked it. It's held up. I feel like it's held up really well.
I think, didn't he just pass away like recently, within the last year?
Fred Ward?
I think so, yeah.
I think he did recently. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he was wasn't he the boss of
alive.
like Anchorman, and he's been in a lot of stuff.
No, he's not dead.
He's not?
No.
I thought he just passed away.
Hold on. I'm looking. He's not. I don't think he's dead.
Or,
I don't think
thought he was.
Are you thinking of Wilford
Someone let
Brimley?
him know if he is.
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley has passed.
Yeah, he
This is
does.
Wilford Brimley. I just saw the greatest cat video, like a cat vine on YouTube. Just type in "cat says diabetes."
Oh, gosh.
It's the funniest. It's 5 seconds long. Cat says diabetes.
Oh dear.
It's basically a cat that looks just like Wilford Brimley.
Like Wilford Brimley? It's not Grumpy Cat?
It looked kind of like that. Yeah, it does.
Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, he does look like Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. Watch that. It's 5 seconds long.
Okay.
Diabetes.
I'll put it in the chat. I mean, yeah.
So Tremors and Wilford Brimley cat. I need to write down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, death rumors are swirling. I was like had a little mini heart attack when he said that. I was like, "What? Fred Ward?"
Did he not die?
No.
Mom,
I don't know why I thought that.
you need to like change
sounded
your
right.
posting option.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Fred Willard.
Oh, maybe that's what I thought too. Yeah, he died. The
No.
comedian.
Yeah, Fred Willard, the boss at Anchorman, and he was in a lot.
funny. Fred
Yeah.
Willard
Yeah.
was so funny.
They're two completely different people.
Yeah, Fred Willard. I know. Yeah, he's not dead.
Decent. Oh, well, glad you could join us, Brian. We're just chatting about movies from 1990. Gosh, 30 years ago. That's so crazy, though.
Well, 31 now. Last year.
Looking through the list.
What's that, Simon?
Looking through the list here, there's another movie. Looking through the list here, there's another movie we haven't mentioned, but I can't remember nothing about it, but I remember the song.
Okay.
Mermaids.
Oh,
The Shoop Shoop song. It's in his case.
Tom Hanks? Or no, is that what?
no, that was Cher and Winona
That was Cher
Ryder,
and
Oh
Winona
yeah,
Ryder.
I never saw that one.
and I forgot who
Christina
else.
Ricci, was it?
Christina Ricci. She was the young daughter.
Mhm.
I think that might have been the very first time I ever saw her in a movie.
Oh, I did find. I don't know if you guys mentioned Miller's Crossing by the Coen
Someone
brothers.
in the chat had mentioned that, and I don't remember if I've seen that, but that sounds really familiar to me.
I mean, it's good. It's Coen Brothers. It's good. I think it was a little.
Coen Brothers.
It was a little bit slow, compared to some of their movies, but it's, like well done. And I would say it's almost worth YouTubing this. There's one scene in this movie where they try to do a hit on the mob boss, and he fights back, and it's such a good piece of action. It lodged in my mind. It was so good. It was like, that's why you don't come at the boss. Like, he was ready, and it was really cool. Yeah,
Who
you
is in
can
that?
YouTube it. I don't. I think Gabriel Byrne is in it, but that's all I remember.
Oh,
But if you YouTube,
I bet I did. I bet I have seen that, but no.
Miller's Crossing, like Tommy Gun fight or Boss Assassin, something like that. It's a
Okay.
scene worth watching if you don't want to watch the whole movie.
Well, howdy to you too.
I bought it on DVD just because it was a Coen Brothers movie, but I just could not get into it, no matter how much I tried.
Really?
Simon, do you know the scene I'm talking about where they attack the mob
I can't
boss?
remember it. I watched it 2 or 3 times, but it was
Really?
at least 20 years ago now.
Oh yeah, that scene stuck with me. He's chilling in his mansion, and they try to kill him, and he is ready for him. He doesn't flinch. He's just smoking a cigar, and it turns into this great action scene. But yeah, it's a little slow. It's not one of their best movies, but it's Coen Brothers are so good.
It's a mobster film, right?
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a 1920s or 30s. It's like old school.
Oh, back in the day.
Back in the day mob.
Hi, Kevin, and hi, Mandrake, and also someone mentioned The Abyss. I think that's 89. We talked about that in the 80s discussion, I think.
The Abyss, cool. Cameron.
Yeah.
80s.
So yeah,
it was 80s.
Yeah, I think so because we're
Does
talking
anyone
about how.
remember Crazy People?
No.
Dudley Moore, Daryl Hannah, Paul Reiser.
Yeah, I think I may have seen that, but I couldn't tell you now anything that it's about. Mercedes Rule.
It's about Dudley Moore plays ad executive. He gets completely overwhelmed by his job and ends up in a mental institution.
Oh gosh!
And then, with the help of his fellow patients, his career completely just blows up. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Nice.
I might have seen it a long time ago. Jeez, 1990. Wow.
It's definitely worth revisiting.
Mom, have you picked your favorite of 1990?
I thought I mentioned when we first, because I had to think on my feet. I didn't come prepared to list the top 3, but obviously my top one would be Kindergarten Cop.
Okay, same.
And then I saw that Tremors. I was reminded that Tremors was 1990. So Tremors, and then I thought there was I can't remember what the other one was. Then I saw there was The Hunt for Red October. So I don't know. Maybe that.
Do I need to watch Kindergarten Cop? Because does it hold up? You guys love it so much. Is it just to be an Arnold fan?
Well, I don't know if
it's good.
Me that loves it so much. I don't know. That film worked for me, whereas Total Recall doesn't really.
That's weird, right?
Which is strange, right? I know that is weird. And I recently rewatched it, so I'm having a lot of nostalgia about it. But I like the blend of the comedy and the action in there. And just because of how he's this big monster having to deal with these little kids.
And isn't that where the first term party pooper comes around? Because he did say that in that movie.
He said he was the party pooper.
I'm the party pooper.
That's not the first time that phrase has been used, but
for you to put it above Total Recall is I almost feel like I should watch it.
I don't know.
I recently saw Total Recall today.
For the first time today?
Yeah.
Really?
He finished it. Yeah. Just a little bit before the stream started.
Well, I like it. I would say I don't think it's my favorite Arnold movie, but I mean I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's harder to see for the first time now. I remember seeing it the first time in the 90s or something. It was I don't know. It felt more like a real movie. Yeah. And now it's just it's a little cheesy, I guess, but it's kind of cool. I like it.
So there's another of his movies that I'm not super crazy about, and that is The Running Man. I'm not,
I like The Running Man.
in love with that.
It's a little cheesy too, but in a fun 80s crazy way.
I think probably the movie of his that I like the least is Junior. I thought that was absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
I did not like that movie at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He got pregnant or something?
What's that?
He got pregnant or something like that?
Yeah, it just didn't, it was so cringy. I just was like, oh my gosh. I didn't like it.
Someone said they want to bring back John Candy, and I agree. John Candy is awesome. I miss John Candy.
They want to bring him back?
They could bring back one actor.
Yeah, I think it's bring back one. Oh, Quigley. Was that in 1990? Quigley Down Under? Maybe it was.
Yeah.
I never saw that one.
Tom Selleck and that girl, Laura.
The girl that played in Laura San Giacomo. Yeah, she played in Pretty Woman.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Alan Rickman was in it too.
I want to ask you guys. I'm looking at these movies. I never heard or saw this movie, King of New York, but it looks a little interesting. Has everyone saw King of New York with Christopher Walken?
If I did, it was a long time ago. I don't remember it.
I saw that on the list. I was going to mention, but I don't know much about it.
I never saw it, but it sounds cool. Crime drama. I don't know. Cool, good cast. There was one thing I wanted to bring up as I was looking. I looked at the box office for 1990, and it hit me like I've thought of this before, but it's like if you the top 10 movies in 1990, there was like 2, maybe 3 kind of family friendly movies, and the rest it was like movies for adults. And I don't know when it changed, but if you start looking at the box office in the last 20 years, it's just all the like, Shrek and Pixar and Marvel and just blockbuster movies, and it's like all family films, almost all movies that are all ages. And if you go back to even 1990, most movies are targeted to adults. And so I almost wonder if you look at the list, like when did that switch to where it's like now it's all these big hits are family? Probably around 2000 or something.
I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't noticed that trend. What you're talking about?
Like the mid 90s, because by that point Disney started to like hit it big with Lion King, Toy Story.
Yeah, that was maybe one part of. I mean, all those were huge hits, and maybe people were like, "Yeah, family movies are where it's at." But I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely a big change.
Because
I never thought about
it's not just the kids; the parents have to bring their kids.
Right, 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly. So you're getting that double movie ticket purchase, kind of.
I miss that though. I miss where it really feels like every other movie has to be like all ages kind of now, and movies that are for adults are like too serious, like they're trying to be. I miss like in the 90s just in the old days, most movies were for adults, and now it doesn't feel like that.
Like Lethal Weapon, Terminator, all that. Yeah.
The Indiana Jones.
Yeah, they weren't like kids need to see this too. It was like this is for grown-ups to go see, and they were big hits. Yeah. So I think we're gonna see as we go through the years, or as you guys go through the years, you'll see that eventually by 99, I think you'll see a lot more kids family.
More of the family friendly sort of.
I know who's looking forward to 91.
Of course I am. 91 and 94. So Colin, he says here he just read that King of New York is about a psychotic drug lord leaves prison wanting to share his wealth. Sounds like a crackhead Robin Hood.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. It might be decent. I don't know. A decent story and cast. It's just if it's shot well, if it's
Christopher Walken.
Cliched or not. But yeah, Walken's in it. I saw Lawrence Fishburne's in it. Steve Buscemi's in it.
The Prophecy. Yeah, that's right. We haven't gotten to the mid 90s yet, but that's right. I remember him from that. And what's her name? The girl from Flashdance. What do you think about Contact? Was that in?
That's 94, I think. 95. 95.
Is that the one with
Jodie Foster?
Jodie Foster. Oh, wow. Was that as far back as 95? Holy cow.
Holy cow.
This is crazy how fast time has gone by since then.
31 years, yeah.
Well, just like 95, the movie Contact. Wasn't Matthew McConaughey in that too, right? He was talking about that movie in his autobiography. That was because he was wanting to do more. No. No. He was wanting to do more serious type of roles, and so he was talking about when he was working on that movie, Contact.
Oh, I wanted to shout out a movie because, again, I was 5, so I remember some of these kids' movies from the 90s. Felix the Cat was a crazy movie. Cartoon, animated, kind of kids movie, but this was back, what I loved about, 1990s, even kids stuff was kind of weird. It probably wouldn't be for kids today. It was just more, creepy and random stuff. Maybe not violent, but just creepy stuff.
Yeah.
Kids movie. And Felix the Cat is I loved watching that movie as a kid. It was so weird. And yeah, it's so different. You don't see kids at cartoon movies like that anymore for kids.
Well, it's like kids movies were a little bit more adult or grown up.
Right. Yeah.
Different time. Different.
It was.
Does anyone remember a movie called Blind Fury?
Blind Fury.
No.
Rutger Hauer?
Blind?
Blind Fury.
I saw it because I used to like to watch Rutger Hauer's. Oh, you know what? I also did see that a couple years ago. I think it was playing. He's a blind veteran, right, or something like that. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember the rest of it. I just remember that was the premise.
It's total schlock, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The tagline for the poster was, "He may be blind, but he don't need no dog."
That's funny. No, who else was on drugs in the 90s? I'm sure it was a lot of people. I have no clue.
It happens it happens every day.
The new Predator movie was more. The latest Predator movie, that was the one with Joel Kinnaman, I think. And that one felt like it was more of a comedy than anything else. And the one with Adrian Brody, I just can't take him seriously as an action star. So
wait, who, Mom?
Adrian Brody. He played in one of the Predator movies. Oh my goodness, this one-legged woman thing keeps coming up. Some people really want me to watch that.
Wait, what even is it?
Sorry, I'm just responding to the.
Joey Diaz talks about a torrid affair he had,
and with a one-legged woman
in vivid detail, and grosses out the female co-host of the show. God. Just the way he describes it's really funny. It's good. It's funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Well, pump up the volume.
Yeah, we just go. Is that was that Christian Slater?
Christian Slater and Samantha Mathis.
Samantha Mathis. I don't remember if I saw that.
What was that one about, Simon?
It was about a pirate radio DJ who is broadcasting during a wave of suicides in his high school.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't realize it was. I thought it was a comedy. Was it not?
It's comedy drama.
Comedy drama. Okay. Along the same lines of like the like black comedy, like Heathers.
Yeah,
okay.
But it veers towards more towards drama than comedy.
Okay. I think I probably did see that, but I maybe just once. Oh my goodness, there was a Captain America movie that came out in 1990.
Oh, if Matt Air was here, he would talk about that one.
Really?
He brings that up. Yep. He brings up very bad, obscure movies.
That was a bad, obscure movie.
The only good part, I mean, from the clip that I saw, was just the whole World War II part. That was it. That's the only part I would watch and then move on. Because he told me that the ears, like they couldn't get the design right for the mask, so they had to like wear these fake rubber ears on the mask.
Which movie was that? Sorry, I was reading the list. Which movie was that?
Captain America.
Captain America.
You had to wear that mask with fake rubber ears. They couldn't get the design of the mask right.
It's so cringy looking. Just the little bit I've seen on YouTube, it looks terrible. Kevin Costner was in another movie that came out in 1990, and I remember it, and I don't recall if I've seen it. It was called Revenge. Have either of you guys seen that?
No.
Revenge, and I think it was Madeline Stowe and Anthony Quinn were in that as well. Also, Rocky IV
came out.
Rocky V.
Rocky V. Yeah, sorry, Rocky V came out. I don't remember what that was about.
That's like another series that just kept going and going.
That was where he mentored Tommy Gunn, who was the real fighter Tommy Morrison, who actually had a really good career. I don't know if you remember the young white guy with like the curly blonde hair that he mentored in that movie.
I saw that.
He kind of went with some other promoter and left Rocky and all this, and Rocky ended up fighting him at the end, but the actor who played Tommy Gunn was Tommy Morrison, who went on to have a very successful heavyweight career. I think he even won the heavyweight, one of the title belts. There's several title belts, but I'm pretty sure he won at least one of them. And he ended up getting HIV, and he died several years ago.
Yeah.
But he was a really, really good fighter, had a fantastic left hook. So it wasn't just an actor that was in that movie, but when he was in that movie, nobody knew him in the boxing world yet. He was still very young.
It's very
the
possible.
Movie was terrible. Yeah, the movie.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of movies that came out in 1990, which that's the whole point of this discussion, there was this movie I saw with Clint Eastwood. It hasn't been brought up yet. Another Clint Eastwood movie has been brought up, but this one, I never forgot this movie, and I'll tell you why. It's called The Rookie, and it has Clint Eastwood and Charlie Sheen in it, and it has also Sonia Braga, I think is her name, and it also had Raul Julia in it. Have you guys seen that movie?
That's like
I don't remember that one.
Cop film, right?
He's like, Charlie Sheen is the rookie, and Clint Eastwood, I guess, is kind of like, sort of like mentoring him, kind of, and Sonia Braga and Raul Julia are the bad guys. But the reason I never forgot this movie, it had a scene in there that disturbed me. It was, well, basically Clint Eastwood gets raped.
What?
By Sonia Braga's character.
By a chick?
Yeah.
Well, that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know if
that's even possible.
Well, it is possible. It is possible, but he was tied up in a chair, and she raped him. And I was like, oh, that's really disturbing. And I never forgot that movie because of that. I'm like, oh, that just really, I don't know. That just
not quite Deliverance bad, but still bad, right?
What's
How
that?
did they get him to agree?
Not quite
I'm Eastwood. I'm not doing this. I've made it in this town.
Yeah, that was.
Come on.
It was. I think that was the first time I ever saw a depiction of a man, being sexually assaulted or raped in the story, and that was just really, that was very, very disturbing to me at the time.
Yeah.
If he had his 44 Magnum.
Well, he didn't. He was tied up.
I mean, it's the most powerful handgun in the world.
Did they film it? Was it a serious scene, or was it just kind of throwaway?
It was a serious scene because
I mean, they depicted it as a serious, a bad event, or it was just kind of like a funny thing.
No, it wasn't depicted as being funny because the film wasn't comedic. And yeah, no, it wasn't depicted as being funny. I didn't get that sense at all.
I never even heard of this until you brought it up.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. Yeah, it was. There was something I thought I saw. Oh, Tales from the Dark Side. That movie came out in 1990. There were quite a few films.
Tales from the Dark Side?
Yeah, Tales from the Dark Side. And then also a movie called Treasure Island. Christian Bale would have been very young when he played in this.
Oh.
And Charlton Heston.
Oh, yeah, Edward Scissorhands. I don't know. I wouldn't put that up as like one of my favorites, but it's pretty cool. It gets points for being so different.
It was different.
Like, I think it's a pretty interesting movie. That was when Tim Burton was a lot more interesting filmmaker.
Have you seen the commercial that they made with Winona Ryder and Timothy? Oh gosh, he's the dude who's playing in the Dune movie.
Chalamet.
Yeah, where he plays the son, their son.
Oh, nice.
It's funny because it's a good pick.
Yeah, I totally see that.
Let's see. Let me go through the.
Also,
if you want to feel,
sorry,
if you want to feel old, I've got a list of debuts here, along with a list of births in 1990. If you want to feel really old.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Debuts or births?
You pick.
Let's go with births.
Okay.
Kristen Stewart.
Oh,
Emma
God.
Watson. Dev Patel. Margot Robbie.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Jennifer Lawrence. I think that's all the ones I recognize.
The most recognizable.
Robbie, I thought
Your
was older than me. The rest I knew were younger. I don't know.
But debuts, Hagazaria in Pretty Woman. Javier Bardem in Ages of Lulu. Let's see, Harry Connick Jr. in Memphis Belle. Russell Crowe in Blood Oath.
Oh, I don't know that movie at all.
Jimon Hanso in Without You I'm Nothing. Lisa Kudrow in Impulse. Christina Ricci in Mermaids.
Yeah, that, like I said, that was the first time I saw her.
Tom Sizemore in Blue Steel. Jeffrey Wright in Presumed Innocent.
Jeffrey Wright's awesome.
Oh, that was his first movie. See, so I saw that and I didn't notice him as an actor in that movie, even though I saw that film. That's
and George Lopez in Ski Patrol.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm looking at Blood Oath. I was wondering if, I was going to say, I'd never heard of that. Doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of films I haven't heard of, but that was an Australian film. And that had George Takei in it and Terry O'Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Have you seen that?
I think I have way back in the day.
Okay. It's based on the real life trial of Japanese soldiers for war crimes committed against Allied prisoners. Okay, that's good. Didn't know that. That sounds like a.
Oh, so it's 1990. Going to talk about a huge bomb. Die Hard 2. Worst Die Hard movie.
We were talking about Die Hard 2 a little bit.
I haven't seen it.
Don't watch it. I remember last time I watched it like a decade ago or longer. I was like, well, how did this, like, what happened with this one? It doesn't feel to me, I don't know. I'm never going to watch it. It felt like a made-for-TV action movie that had Bruce Willis in it. That's how I would describe it.
I think Simon or Joe that mentioned they thought it was pretty good. I can't remember if it was someone in the comments.
It could be because honestly, I don't know. I was in my 20s. Maybe it might have just been I was just like dismissed it. You know, I just felt something about it. I was watching and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. But I mean, Die
Hard I've seen times as the first one, so I don't remember anything about the. I remember Timothy Olyphant was in the fifth one. Was he in the fifth one?
I don't know. Timothy Olyphant's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
The first and the third one were classics, but the second one in between them is like, ugh. I don't know what it was. Something about it just felt like it was really forced to me. But yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about how sequels don't always do so well.
Does anyone remember House Party or Men at Work?
I remember seeing the pictures of House Party all the time. And
is that the guy with the big hair?
Too little to watch it. They made like a bunch of house parties, I think.
Yeah, Kid and Play. They made a couple house parties and Class Act. They're pretty funny. Men at Work was like a cheesy comedy with Charlie Sheen and his brother Emilio.
I did see that once.
They were like garbage men that were solving a murder.
Right.
It was. Right. I mean, it was crappy, but it was silly. It had some funny parts. But I met the dude with the big hair, Chris Reed, the guy that played Kid.
Okay.
About 15 years ago at a comedy club, he was doing stand up and met him after the show. He was a really nice guy.
Cool.
That's interesting. I didn't know he was stand up comic. I mean, I just remember him from the hair. I couldn't tell you if I've seen him in anything else. Yeah,
he has like dreadlocks now, but he was a real nice guy.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more. Like, there's all these other little small.
I think we've covered most.
We've covered a lot of the major ones. There's stuff that I'm recognizing as I go through the list, and I remember. Oh yeah, I did see that.
Problem Child.
I got to see what that is.
Well, I know my favorite like TV show of 90 would have to be Fresh Prince.
Parents just don't understand. Yeah, I watched that one a bit. I like that one.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's been so long. I haven't watched it since it was on the air. It's it's like 25 years or however long.
Yeah.
What? Almost 30 now.
Did you watch? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask Colin if he watched like Beverly Hills 90210 at all.
Oh no, I was too young for that. I was like 6 or 7 in the early 90s. I was 5 in 1990. So that was
you would have been a little bit too young for Beverly. That was a big show. I remember that was huge.
It was real popular. Dylan, that guy passed away a few years ago.
Jacob?
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry.
Yeah.
He did.
That was such a shock when he died.
He was on a show. He was on a show. I can't remember which one, but he was on.
Riverdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the first season of that. I thought it was really good, and I haven't returned to it because I don't know if it got a little bit too silly. And after a while, those teen drama type things get kind of silly.
Teen dramas tend to dig in.
Did it get worse?
My wife watches that show, so I see it, and I think it got worse.
It probably did.
I mean, let's be real. Teen dramas are.
But it was a mystery. See, the first season was like a mystery. And I felt
Archie. It was the Archie comics made into like a serious drama.
Yep.
But I think the first season was real good, but I think it got worse.
Oh, forgot the Simpsons were still going. This was like its 1 year that it's been on air.
It got started in 89, right?
89.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, when Luke Perry died, it was like it sucked for me because it was like 25 years ago. He was famous for being young, and now he's dead from being old. And it's like, dude, life goes fast.
But he wasn't even that old.
Yeah, he wasn't old.
He was in his 40s. I know. I'm about there, though. I'm about there.
But it was a shock because it's not like he was in his 80s and 90s,
Right. He was like 42, 44.
I thought he was older than that.
Maybe.
But
I thought it was 40s.
It was like a stroke. He had a stroke or something.
Goodness.
Yeah.
And I don't remember. They said he'd been in the hospital before that for something, but I don't remember if that contributed to whatever happened to him. But that was a real shock.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, so it was kind of sad to see him in that after he had already passed.
He was in that?
He was in that. Yeah.
I don't know what scene he was in.
Arturo, was he in the Wild West scene where they were shooting that scene from the supposed to be the TV Wild West drama?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I want to watch that again. That movie was so good.
Yep.
I saw it once in the theater.
It was good. And I just wish that's how things had really happened.
That happened, yeah.
That's why that's why it's so good. That's awesome.
If Rick Dalton was around with his
I know.
things would have been different. I'm Rick Dalton.
Doggone it.
So I guess to wrap it up, how would we rate this year? I mean, there was a few that I've heard of and also watched.
Not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Mom, there was Arnold.
I know, but I know, but I feel kind of about 1990.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that I like, but yeah.
I think it was a great year.
Overall,
you think it was a great year, really?
Mm-hmm. There are a couple of guilty pleasures we haven't touched on, but
which ones? Remind us.
Well, stuff like Nightbreed. You ever seen that?
Oh yeah, I have seen that. Oh,
the original theatrical cut wasn't that great. The director's cut is better.
Okay,
but it had a great performance by David Cronenberg as a serial killer.
Oh, was that a Cronenberg movie, or is he just in it?
He's just in it.
Okay.
He was directed by Clive Barker.
I want to revisit some of his movies. I overlooked a lot of. I overlooked a lot of Cronenberg. He's an interesting director.
It's called Nightbreed.
Nightbreed, yeah. It's got what's his name? Craig Schaefer.
Craig Schaefer, yeah.
Yeah. And And what other guilty pleasures?
Oh, I'll have to look at the list again.
I feel like the list wasn't super deep, but just having like Goodfellas and Home Alone on there is like pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I didn't mention it. I assume you guys did, but I love Home Alone. I mean, it's a classic. I loved it then. It still holds up.
Yeah.
I think I need to rewatch that.
Did you see it in the theater? I guess you would have been about 5, Colin.
I know I don't remember seeing it in the theater, but I remember renting it and watching it all the time and on TV. I think the first movie I saw in the theater was 5 Goes West.
Oh, that was 89, right? Or was that 90?
It was around that time. It was around that.
I thought it was 89.
I just noticed a film whose title has aged so badly.
Oh.
Ghost Dad, starring Bill Cosby.
Oh, no.
I remember that movie. I think I watched it once. Yeah.
Oh, man. Also, Ghost itself. I don't know if you guys mentioned.
Yeah, we talked about that because we talked about the top 10 and how that Ghost was number 1, but how Home Alone was number 2, but it came out later in the year and like in November, and yet in that short amount of time, it made more than 400 and some.
Well, no, that's not how that works, though, is it? I'm pretty sure they'll take the total gross the movie earned. I think that's how it works. That's how I've always thought it worked.
You mean
Ghost earned the most within the year 1990.
Yeah,
but Home Alone made most overall.
Okay,
Colin, did you like Ghost, Colin?
Romance.
Oh no. Okay.
I mean, there's
the supernatural
romance
stuff and mystery stuff,
but that's not one of them. Too romantic.
too much.
Well, I mean, the art. I looked at the box art, like, yeah, pretty much.
I guess this is a question for you guys who like. I guess he's talking about Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, I don't know.
The skit about it.
He was in a commercial, wasn't he? Where he like reprised the role a few years ago. I think he was in a commercial.
I think that's that must be what he's talking about then.
Home Alone, yeah.
Is there any Always Sunny fans? Always Sunny in Philadelphia? They did a really great kind of homage episode to Home Alone in the last couple of years. It was really funny.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, there's an online petition to for the remake of Home Alone, cast Macaulay Culkin in the role as Kevin, but nobody mentions his age.
Wait, what?
There's an online petition to remake Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin still in the role of Kevin, but no one mentions that he's 40.
That's funny. Like he's playing like the 6-year-old still.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I like that. Nice. I forgot I read that Disney Plus is rebooting Home Alone. It's like, man, there's no way it's gonna be as good with the safe.
They've been rebooting things.
Like the best part is the burglar, like the burglar bundling break-in, and they're not gonna make that as good. They're gonna tone it down.
Yeah. Joe Pesci, what a year he had. He was in Home Alone and Goodfellas in 1990.
Oh, yeah.
He was on top of the world.
He was in
won the Oscar for Best Actor.
Yeah.
Yep. Did he really? For Goodfellas?
For Goodfellas, yeah.
Wow.
He nailed it. I just realized Simon has Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone as his picture too.
He was talking about that.
So Simon, are you gonna like pick every specific like picture of a film from a specific year?
I think exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He did Batman for '89. Yeah.
What was that?
He did Batman for '89.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
I had mentioned I didn't really. I don't know. It didn't really click with me that was what he was doing. So So what are you gonna pick?
I'm gonna have to guess for '91.
What are you gonna pick for '91, Simon? You just gonna surprise us?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
That's surprising.
Hannibal Lecter.
Well,
Silence of the Lambs. Oh, it's so good.
A specific film I need to watch from '91's like maybe Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs.
If you haven't seen it, woo.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh,
yeah.
People give me looks. People give me looks if I say I haven't seen that film.
Yeah.
I actually just rewatched it. I think it's on YouTube or something. I think
Is it really?
It's free on YouTube. I just rewatched it recently.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is, but I rewatched it recently.
That's a good film.
Yeah, it's got a lot of references that are, it's sometimes it's nice to just see classics and you're like, oh, I get there's like multiple references that you hear a lot from that movie and other. So yeah, that's a good one.
So
sorry. I was just going to mention about how when it went to the Oscars and I think it won for Best Picture. And I remember being bummed because at the time I was hoping that Beauty and the Beast would win for Best Picture because it had been nominated for Best Picture. It was like one of the first times an animated movie or something had been nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. So, and then I think did Jodie Foster win for Silence of the Lambs?
I don't know.
That year, I think Anthony Hopkins did.
She might have, yeah.
I think Hopkins did.
I'm
I don't know.
Sure he did. I just don't remember about her. I know she had won. She had won for the movie from the 80s. Oh shoot, the one where she'd been a victim of gang rape.
Taxi Driver?
No, no.
The Accused.
She was in that.
The Accused.
The Accused. That's it. That's it. Yeah, Taxi Driver I think was from the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was from the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I forget, there was you did a Terminator reaction recently, and I posted a link to the Red Letter Media commentary on Terminator.
Yes, I do have that saved in my to watch.
One of the things they say on it is that Sarah Connor's hair looks like the Beast. Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, in the first movie. Yeah.
In the TV show she was in.
Yeah, but I mean, you mean her hair in the TV show didn't look like the Beast?
No, in Terminator.
In the first Terminator, it did.
Yeah, her hair looks like the Beast's hair from the TV show Beauty and the Beast she was in.
Right, it does. That's true, it does. No, I haven't seen that yet because I hesitate to watch it because I'm like, are they gonna crap all over like one of my favorite movie franchises?
Well, that reminds me of the Red Letter Media. That's funny you brought that up, Simon, because I left a comment on the Phantom Menace review you guys did.
Oh yeah.
If you guys have seen the Phantom Menace review that Red Letter Media did, it is. I rewatched it because that reminded me of it, and it's so funny, and it's such a like well thought out takedown of the film, like critically, but it's also really funny. It's I can't watch those movies anymore.
Yeah, you were mentioning it. I think I'm a little hesitant to even watch that because
it will ruin the movie.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, sometimes I avoid watching some of those types of things because I'm like, I don't want it to be pointed out things I might not have thought about. What's wrong with this film?
Right, it will definitely ruin the movie.
That's
but
funny.
you'll enjoy watching it. So yeah. I haven't watched many of their others though, because I'm the same way. If I don't already kind of dislike the movie, I don't want them to see this.
Yeah, I just want to watch things that I don't like already because then it will validate what I already feel.
Yeah, exactly. just for fun, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, well, we basically started the 90s. So what are you guys looking forward to? What specific year? I know my mom is all for the 91. That's for sure. Her favorite movie of all time.
But I also like 94.
Okay, yeah, 94. Colin, you have a specific year you're looking forward to?
Probably just 99 because I know I can already start listing off classics. Plus, I was 14 and I was like really into movies and watching all the stuff I could, new stuff, old stuff, and I feel like I remember and have more opinions on compared to 5 years old.
Your memories are more solid by then.
Yeah, the 90s is my decade that formed me. So yeah,
what about you, Joe?
94 and 99 are really good years. I think I've read that they're both really high up there for like all-time greatest years for movies.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think I read that too. I think 99 for sure. Not just me, but other people too, I think.
Yeah, like when you think of certain years in a decade of movies, there are some that just kind of pop out at you because you remember. So when I think of the 90s, well, obviously I think 91 because Terminator 2, but that's not really, like when I think of 90s films, obviously some of the first I think of are 94 and 99. Like I kind of forget 95, 96, 96. You know, I mean, I kind of like those years I sort of forget, kind of like with the 80s decade. But
what about
I was actually watching.
I was
continue, but like I was actually watching Terminator 2 recently.
Yes.
One thing that occurred to me that sort of works at the meta level, that it's the kind of inflection point between analog effects, computer effects, and they're fighting.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
What? Okay, that went right over my head. I
like that insight. Like old school special effects and new school, like
and Arnold, they're fighting with each other.
Arnold's the old school.
I get it. Okay, yeah, that went right over.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the question?
Well,
99.
So you're looking forward to
99 is yours. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm actually looking forward to all of them.
Me
too, honestly. Yeah, me too. All of them.
Well, I mean, I am for sure looking forward to all of them, but just certain years in particular, it's going to be kind of juicy. So.
Yeah, lately I've been into like more of the '90s nostalgia as a films, games, what have you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. It's 90s is it's special too. I mean, yeah, 80s. I know it's at the top, but you can't forget about the 90s now.
Oh yeah, no, the 90s were. But you know what's weird? I don't know. Like if we're done, whenever we finish with the 90s, if we should go on to the early 2000s, because that feels quite recent, even though it's really not that terribly recent.
I want to do the 2000s because there was a lot of good stuff that came out in the 2000s.
Yeah, I still kept up. There was when I was young, I tried to watch everything, and then at some point I was like, wait, it's like you see enough, you're just like they're just repeating themselves now. Like I stopped watching so many movies by the time I was in my like late 20s, but yeah, like 95 to 05, I was really kept up with a lot.
I feel like the 2000s was like a really like good period for like the movie industry. It's by like at some point by the mid 2010s is when you kind of start to see been there, done that sort of deal, or you start to notice that a little more when you get into the 2010s. Like okay,
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the 2000s, but yeah.
My shirt isn't showing this, but I want to represent Kansas City.
Oh.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Aw, Baby Yoda.
Shirt. Kansas City Baby Yoda.
That's a cute Baby Yoda. Somebody was getting ready. I thought I heard somebody getting ready to say something. Joe or Simon?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, like, I probably would have to check out once we get to the 2000s just because I was kind of in college and starting to get busy and didn't really keep up with like pop culture, so but I'm sure you're going to have chatters that are a little younger that might pop up and have a lot to say about the 2000s.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I can talk 80s and 90s, but I don't know a whole lot about the 2000s.
Not as plugged into the 2000s.
Yeah. So do you mean you were getting busy in college, or you were getting busy in college?
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah, I would say maybe like the 2000s for me was also like when I started to go see movies in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think you and Colin, it sounds like you're probably
both worked in
a lot more to say about the 2000s.
Yeah, because I worked in a theater a couple times, and I would watch like every single thing. Even stuff I barely wanted to see, just because it was free.
Right, there you go.
I watched some like Greek, like a love story set in Greece, like just stuff I don't even remember, just stuff I would never watch, just because I
Is
love
that my
movies.
Big Fat Greek Wedding? Is that what you're talking about?
No, nothing as good as that. It
okay.
I don't even remember. But yeah, it was fun to watch stuff.
Simon, did you kind of stay keep abreast of the 2000s and 2010s?
I did, yeah. I'm a movie addict. Have been since I was a kid. That's why I liked Dream On so much, because I am Martin Tupper.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, it's funny. To be honest, I never really fully started to get into like the film stuff until, goodness, maybe when I kind of started working at the movie theater. That's when I started to kind of get more into it.
What do you mean?
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still watched movies. It's just I was more into the anime and the games. Movies was kind of like, whenever. But then, like, now I'm like into it just like everything else. Like 2019 definitely got me even really into all that. Joker, 1917. In Hollywood.
Yeah.
All that.
2019 feels like it was a really pretty good year too. For movies.
There was some hit and misses. Like I feel like that year I noticed how the movie industry was running out of originality.
I feel like TV has gotten a lot better over the last 20 years, and film has gotten a little bit worse.
Yeah, a little stale.
Definitely, I agree.
I believe on the internet. I think we're just living in an era of information overload. So they need to have the brand recognition. They need to reboot stuff,
right?
Market it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I was just,
yeah, and lots of good stuff gets like just lost in the cracks. I'm always finding random little things that are awesome that probably would have got a lot of more attention in the 90s or something. That it's just, I don't know. No one has time to go through it all anymore.
I love it when I find a hidden gem, like something that I'd never heard of before. Like how I found The Losers from like 2011 or something like that. And then there was this little like obscure film called The Clove Hitch Killer that I watched a couple of years ago.
I just keep seeing that on Netflix. Is that
was actually, I thought it was really good. It's quite tense. It's tenseful.
Okay, good.
It's a little tenseful.
I'm writing this down.
But it's kind of like a slow burn. It's about this kid who suspects his father is a serial killer. Just the psychological situation presented by the
British movie.
No, it's not British. It's got Dermot. Oh gosh, what's his name? Yeah, that guy. He's played in the first season of American Horror Story, and or also some other seasons. So him. And some other people, I can't remember who else. I think maybe Samantha Mathis played his wife, I think. But it was just a quiet little, but it really surprised me how good it was. And I think I did a review for it also.
I think I might have seen you.
Because I was so impressed with how, decently written it seemed. Like, Nobody, that's not obscure, but still I was really impressed with the writing.
Nobody was good
in that film. But yeah, these little films that I find that kind of stick with me, and some of them that might be kind of weak. There was a movie called Killing Emmett Young, and I think it had another title as well. It falls a little flat at the end, but the situation in the movie was interesting because in that one, it's a guy who gets a diagnosis, like a terminal diagnosis, and he hires a hitman to kill him so he doesn't have to suffer.
Just like at a surprise moment?
Yeah, just like so he doesn't have to suffer. And then something happens that turns everything on its head, and then that so that was a very interesting concept to me.
Nice.
But it's not the strongest movie, but that sticks with me because I was like, that was really interesting and pretty well done and I think Tim Roth was in that.
You should watch you mentioned on when you did the watch along some of those movies you posted. I don't know if you ever went back to them, but there's some good ones. Freaks. I really like Freaks. I watched it twice. With
that's a recent film, right?
Emile Hirsch is in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. I haven't. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I am still editing the watch along.
Really? Yeah.
Because you know what happened? I've mentioned this in some of our other live streams, but remember how the audio kept going off sync? I found out that my source file was off sync. That was one of the reasons it was doing that.
Yeah.
So then I found I got another source file, and I'm putting that on top of what I'm editing, but I have to make all the audio match. Oh my God. It is such a headache. I'm like, yeah, maybe this year I'll get it done.
I couldn't do it.
I think Glenn said something in one of the comments somewhere about that he said that we should do a Terminator 2 watch along party every year. I was like, I'm down for that.
That's good, yeah.
But yeah, I heard Freaks is really good, and I do want to see that.
Yeah, it is good. Also, I was going to recommend. I stumbled across a pretty decent horror movie, horror thriller on Netflix.
Yeah, you brought that up on one of the. I didn't write it down, but I saw your comment. Remind me what it was.
Wait, was it today? Wait,
it was a
comment. I probably forgot I left it. I don't know. The Wind. Did I mention that?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, I forgot I even left that comment. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's not great, but I like a good, tenseful movie that's not, I don't like like Saw or Hostel style, like how bad is it gonna get,
Yeah, after a while that wears thin.
I did see Spiral this year. Forgot there was that. That's actually my first Saw movie I saw.
I don't like that stuff. I like the more like I like being scared. The Wind was scary, but it's not about like that. It's not like that. Yeah,
it's psychologically scared because psychological horror is really.
Well, what was cool is because this is a little shout out to myself, but I'm always trying to think if I could write a horror movie. I love horror movies, and so many are bad. So I'm like, where would I set it? What would it do? So I kind of had this idea for just someone like kind of alone in a house in the kind of the plains. I didn't know what to do with it, and that's kind of like what this is. It's this woman living out in like the middle of New Mexico 100 years ago, and it's just the only house around for a long way, and it's like, and her husband goes off to town, and she's just there, and this creepy stuff happens, and it is. I kind of wish it was more just her alone because they do flashbacks intercut with the present where it's like what happened before she was alone, how did they get there, what's going on. But it just I like that. I like that idea of just being alone and not knowing what's going on, and you're almost like freaking yourself out because
right.
So it was good. I like that.
Okay. All right. Well, I do have it written down. Who was in it? Do you remember?
I don't think anyone famous. There's like
nobody famous. Okay.
2 or 3. There's like 4 people I think in the whole movie, maybe 5.
Oh wow!
Because they're out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So you write stories, Colin?
That's my goal. I haven't been on it. I'm always saying I'm a writer, and I'm like I haven't really written anything. I used to write a lot, and I'm trying to get back to it. I'm trying to make it a routine again because you just got to make it a routine.
Yeah, you have to.
I would go for it.
Yeah.
Here's a horror movie premise for you. Falsely accused rapist on the run from RoboCop.
Oh, jeez. Because he might get shot somewhere.
I missed that. What?
He said, here's a horror story premise for you. It's a falsely accused rapist on the run from RoboCop.
Was that the plot of a RoboCop movie?
It's a reference to the scene in RoboCop where he shoots.
Oh, you weren't here for it earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, when he shoots this guy in a certain place. So, oh gosh. Someone mentioned the human centipede. Oh Lord.
Ugh.
Forget that
one.
My
gosh, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Matt Air talks about that one sometimes. Like, no.
I have zero desire to see that film.
Okay. All right, well, I guess is that a wrap? Goodness, 11:48, 2 hours and 48 seconds.
Holy cow! We talked more about 1990 than I thought we were going to.
I thought it was going to be kind of like that specific year where it's like you're not going to get as much.
That's what we thought about 1980 when
we
did our first 1980 discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, it went fast. I'm surprised we've been on that long.
I know.
It didn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't. Because I guess when you talk about stuff that you enjoy, it's really easy for the time to just go by. I love talking about movies and stories. So
I'm bummed I missed the beginning. I was looking forward to it all day. I have a real problem with it. I will fall asleep. If I am relaxed, I will fall asleep.
Oh.
I don't know what to do.
Well,
set an alarm.
On the bright side, let's see, we got 91, 92, 93. We got all the way up until the late.
I'm
90s.
down. I'm down.
Many more years.
And hopefully, Corey Michaels movies will hop on. Maybe Matt Rice.
What's up, Glenn?
Yeah, I'm surprised Glenn didn't join us tonight.
He had written and said that he had been on, what was he said? He'd been like off-roading or doing some stuff, and he was just really tired. So he said he'd just join us in the chat. So it made me tired to think about all the stuff he's been doing over the past 4 days.
I'm going to say when we do...
It's going to sound exhausting.
If we get a lot of people, that's going to be pretty hectic.
It usually is.
I like that it's a slow chat with, a small group. Maybe you could be a few more, but I don't like those. I see those chats where it's just like flying words and no one.
When it's a whole bunch of people, it's a little difficult to.
Then should we organize it in a way where people could have a turn talking, sort of deal?
Well, the thing about that is these conversations never end up that organized.
Yeah,
because you just have a bunch of people talking about stuff, and it's just a free flow of conversation.
I mean, we went off like back to the 80s, then into the 2000s.
That's happened, I think, in all of our conversations. Yeah. We always talk about different, but we do stay on track. And then as we kind of get towards the end, then it's easier to get off track. Yeah, here we go. Riding four-wheel. I bet it is.
Those scare me. Yeah, I'm not. I rode one I'm a big wuss. I don't do dangerous stuff.
I'd probably have an accident. That's what I would do.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
All right. Well, this was fun.
Yes, thanks you. Thanks, you guys. It's late.
Enjoyed it.
It was fun. Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, and look forward to the next time. Obviously, I'll send you guys a message whenever we get around to figuring out.
Maybe next week, should we try to do 2 in 1 week?
2? I don't know about 2 in 1 week. Not sure about that. Not for me anyway, just because of my schedule, my work schedule.
I'll be on vacation at the beginning of next week.
Okay.
So if it's next week, I probably won't be here.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. It's okay. We got time.
No rush.
We don't have hard and fast rules. It's just whenever it works out.
Yeah, whoever. I mean,
I'm usually always around unless I fall asleep. I can't believe I did that.
I think this is the second time you've done that.
Probably.
Or maybe one other time you forgot about the time disparity.
I think that's maybe what happened too. I really enjoyed it too. I was thinking about it all day.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I woke up like, what happened?
Oh no.
I don't know. It's a problem. I'm always watching movies that I love and I'm into it. It's I've never seen before. But if I'm lying down, I can't stay awake.
Yeah, I can't. I don't lie down to watch a movie, or I will fall asleep.
Right.
So I'll even fall asleep sitting up if I'm tired enough. So I don't do that.
This guy really wants to see Joey Diaz's reaction.
I know somebody. Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Don't you have 800 things in your queue?
It's close to it. It's more than 700. It might be more than 800 now because I'm always adding stuff, and not just things that are recommended, but stuff that recommended by subscribers, but stuff that YouTube recommends to me. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And squirrel.
Yeah. You're like a puppy dog.
I actually have some I want you to watch that'll change your view on everything.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
What?
No, it's about. The title is How Wealth Influences Health.
How wealth influences health?
Yeah, and it's about how status and how the reason we go for status has biological underpinnings.
Yeah.
Based on the
because
research
it's
of
healthier
Robertson.
for us overall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Higher standing in the tribe, higher health, basically. Yeah, for sure. I always think I came up with this thing lately is And I feel like it can be insensitive, to, certain people. I don't mean it to be insensitive, but it's like, like my body is worth a lot to me. Like if someone was like, you want $1 billion or your arm? You're like,
oh,
my arm. So I'm like, I'm worth billions. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's relative worth. I'm not worth billions to anyone else, but to me, this is a $1 trillion piece of machinery.
oh, there you go.
So I try to think of it that way. Like
you're a regular RoboCop.
I think I read somewhere that chemically, if you were broken down, you're worth about 64 cents.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I saw that at a science museum. It talked about all the copper and all the chemicals in our body.
Oh, funny, nice. Literally, I was just like, we're worth. No, that's a nice. Literally,
it's more than 64 cents. It seems like it was several dollars.
Wow.
If we were melted down into our chemical.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Damn. Okay, so I'm not worth trillions actually. Oh man, if I had a gold tooth, I would like be 1,000,000% worth more.
Yeah.
Like a gold tooth really increases your worth.
That's the gold teeth.
Oh my goodness. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Health and wealth. Stay healthy and wealthy.
Well, I
Drink
will
a
look it
lot
up,
of water.
Simon. Yes.
Yeah, this was
Water's
fun, guys.
important, you guys. Drink a lot of it.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks
Good night.
Good night, Joe.
This is
Good night, Colin.
Have a good
Thanks,
time.
everyone.
Night, Simon.
Joe Simonson in the chat.
Bye.
See you
Good
soon.
night.
Bye-bye.
Stop it right there.